Hey kids, welcome back to Together with Dub Talk. It's me, your host, Uramichi Oniisan. We have a special episode lined up for you today, but I need to read a quick disclaimer first so the station can cover its butt in case anyone complains. First, Together with Dub Talk may contain language and content that may not be suitable for all youngsters, so make sure you have your parents' permission before you listen. Second, this episode will contain spoilers for Life Lessons with Uramichi Oniisan, so watch out if you haven't finished the show yet. Finally, the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individual hosts and do not reflect those of Together with Dub Talk as a whole. Now get comfy, kids, and enjoy the episode before you're no longer children and have to deal with the cruel realities of the world, like thankless jobs, unsatisfying relationships, and hobbies that become so involved and time-consuming that you start to wonder why you thought they were fun in the first place. Enjoy your free time while you have it, kids, because if you don't, you'll be filled with regret until you die. Enjoy!
ABC, ABC, ABC.
Hello there, boys and girls, and welcome to the Dub Talk Podcast.
Oh God.
I'm your podcaster, Jamal Oniisan, and I'm here today with my eclectic group of friends. Big sister Stephanie-san.
The world is on fire. This is fine. I need more coffee.
Yes, our dusty old uncle, Amon-san.
You got a lozenge, kid.
And our animated puppet, Noah-kun.
Now, if you give me a heads up, I could have got my Kermit voice ready. Here, let me get right here.
I'll edit that part out.
Do you ever find yourself in another part of the world with a beautiful house, with a beautiful wife? How did I get here? Yay!
Yay!
We're gonna have some...
Now do Lido Shuffle.
Shit.
I can't do that. But I will recommend all you people, if you're Muppets fans and you haven't seen it already, check out the Debbie Harry episode from the original run. It's amazing.
Yay, and tonight we're gonna have ourselves a little fun because, boys and girls, we have a special treat for you. Tonight we will be covering the dub of Life Lessons with Uramichi Oniisan.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Yeah, the valuable treat of existential dread as you enter into your 30s.
I turned 33 last week.
Oh.
As someone,
Oh, so you can buy us alcohol. Nice.
as someone who is in her early 30s as well. Yay!
Yay. I can't believe I'm the same age as Uramichi.
So I have to ask, Jamal, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of dubbed anime movies and TV shows that we've never covered before, right?
Right.
Why did this one stand out to you?
For the most part, I'm the same age as the character. I'm also as apathetic as him. And C, this show gave me an existential crisis that could affect all of Dub Talk forever. So,
Did this show invoke the opposite reaction that Real Life did?
kind of, yes. Especially when you get to episode 2.
Oh boy.
And you wanted to share that with the rest of the viewers. And us, by proxy.
Well, because sharing is caring.
Sharing is very much caring.
Yes.
One of us.
You get to feel the
One of us.
existential dread along with us, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be a fun fucking night.
Oh, joy.
I am excited about this one.
Really?
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because originally, before we got everything together, I think Jamal and I were the only ones who were interested in getting an episode like this off the ground, to the point that we were gonna do a fight pit for hosting duties. And the only reason why I'm letting Jamal host it. Only reason is because 1, work, 2, I just got over being sick, so
Oh.
I'm like,
Just
I'm
like
just
in the
gonna
show.
do it. And now I am the proud owner of a fucking rescue inhaler. Whoop-de-doo.
Yay.
I remember back in Christmas when you were a kid, it was like, wow, I got Hot Wheels, or wow, I got the newest video game. Now it's, holy shit, I got a rescue inhaler. This is awesome.
Thanks, Doc.
Yeah, thanks, Doc. Well, in case you're wondering, boys and girls, what exactly is this show about? Well, let me tell you a little story. Uramichi Moto is 31. Uramichi appears on a children's TV show alongside two grown men dressed as forest creatures and a singing woman with a very short fuse. Uramichi leads little kids in exercises and answers their questions about life. But Uramichi's life is pain. Uramichi just wants to be miserable in peace. But in his words, there are games that don't end even after you forfeit. Like life, for example.
Yes, despite wanting to curl up in a ball and just let the ocean swallow you whole, you still got to pay rent.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you take whatever job you can.
Yup.
Oh, goody.
Our capitalist nightmare will never end.
It's the fun that never ends.
It just goes on and on, my friend.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jamal. I'm very glad you did.
God. Okay.
Because this show, before we really get into the dub itself, this show's premise around adults hosting a live-action kids show where the kids interact with them on set doesn't really exist in American television anymore. Nope. It used to. We used to have puppet shows where the kids would interact with the puppets. We would have live-action hosts, and the kids would hang out in the studio. And it's, to my understanding, that's still kind of a thing in Japan.
Then there's Barney.
Which is very old. Again, I'm saying it doesn't really exist anymore.
No, I know, but Barney's also a similar premise.
It is, but it hasn't really been. Its heyday has passed. The Lord Almighty. The programming that your kids are watching nowadays, because I'm going to assume that most of you are not up on your modern kids entertainment, right?
I do not currently have a child.
Same.
So no.
I have a fur baby, but that doesn't. I don't think my fur baby watches TV.
I still watch Power Rangers, so
I'll be honest. No, as far as the podcast goes, you have unique insight into what actual children watch. So please enlighten us.
That doesn't make me feel any better, but sure, I'll share it.
No, I was like, God damn it! Why won't you all procreate? I can't be the only one anymore. Stop it.
Oh no, I'm not bragging. I'm not complaining about that at all. But take your time, please. Pretty please. The thing I was going to bring up is that children these days are not watching these, adults interacting with other kids in the studio kind of shows. It's either going to be an animated series. 98% of the programming on PBS Kids, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Playhouse Disney, all of that is animated programming. If it's live action, it's not actually going to be something on network television. YouTube has absolutely ruined this generation because the hot thing is live action vlogs where kids and their parents play games and toys and even video games together. You've probably heard of Ryan's Toy Review.
Yep.
Even if you're not into kids, you may know of that channel.
That is a very popular one.
There's that. There's Kids City, which is another kind of rip-off of that. There's lots of Let's Play channels that are kids and their parents playing video games together. And then you get, if there is an adult with who's like teaching life lessons, it's probably someone who's not really interacting with kids directly. Case in point, the most popular children's adult performer these days is Blippi.
Blippi?
What's a Blippi?
What the fuck is Blippi?
Now see. I was waiting. I was like, I'm waiting if there's going to be any dawn of recognition amongst this group here. And there's not, because you've never had to be subjected to this. Okay, subjected to this. It's a YouTube channel of a very upbeat man who's got... Basically, he goes around the world teaching kids lessons that are not really that bad. It's like colors, shapes. He's got a really popular song about an excavator. Yes, the farm equipment.
Huh, okay.
That is what the kids are really into nowadays. So this premise here of let's have people in weird costumes just kind of interacting with the kids in a sound studio, not really anything that we have anymore, which makes it even the more alien to try to watch. It's like, my kids would not sit down and watch this.
No. After you described Blippi, I got a vague hit of recognition. Did he get in the news a couple years ago for doing something distinctly not kid-friendly? Like, not bad, just like...
Boy.
Are we talking about, like,
fool.
Pee Wee Herman levels, that kind of bad?
Oh, God.
I don't think it was that bad. It was just, like, that's a weird thing for a kids entertainer to do. Like, very much like, if you're a random individual, you probably think, like, that's weird and move on with your life. It is only that he has mild internet notoriety that made it notable.
I went to Blippi's fucking YouTube channel and the trailer started playing. It's very loud.
It's very, it's not for
children.
you. It's not for you. I'm not going to go out of my way and say it's cringe exactly. It's like, we weren't any better with our entertainment when we were younger. It's for its exact target demographic.
I'm just taking a peek. I'm like, apparently I'm watching Blippi explores a boat. Do you like boats, kids?
I mean, in fairness, kids do like boats.
Blippi
Kids
wonders,
like
the
machinery.
floor is lava.
Imagine if Mr. Rogers was really, really high.
Oh boy.
Oh my god!
a
If you were
beautiful
about to
day.
insult
This-
Mr. Rogers, I was gonna be upset,
It's a
but that's
beautiful
even
day in
better.
this neighborhood here.
I could never do such a thing.
I'm about to say, I
The
would be
man
like, how
won
dare you,
Ultimate
Noah,
Showdown.
but I know you. You wouldn't insult Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers is amazing.
The man won Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. He could take me out. No questions asked.
Oh, shit.
Sorry. Anyway, so that has nothing to do with the dub of what we're going to talk about.
Oh,
here.
no, it doesn't, but
No,
hey, here
it
we
does
are.
not.
Here we are.
That's not. Yeah, so as if you never heard this show before, it was dubbed by Funimation before Funimation got absorbed into Crunchyroll, but more on that later.
Yeah.
But we'll go over as we always do with our ADR, director, and scriptwriter. Now, here's the interesting thing: there's one director, two scriptwriters, but there have also been songs adapted in this show, so I wanted to talk about the music staff as well.
Okay.
So, for our ADR director, we have one Chris George, who you've seen also direct the Listeners, Pop Team Epic, one direct Priority, and as of the time of this recording, he's currently directing the dub for Spy Family.
Yes!
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, Jamal, when you told us that you wanted us to cover a dub that was on Crunchyroll and it was directed by Chris George and it happened to feature cute kids in it, I thought you were talking about that show, not this one.
Oh no, Spy Family just started.
And it did.
Yeah.
It must be-
We got a long
Very
way
eager
to
to
go before we get there, so long way.
Pit fights. Pit
That
fights
one is
indeed.
gonna be a fight pit.
W-
Holy hell.
I'm ready. Steel Cage.
All I know is if Andrew is not hosting, I'm just gonna.
Oh,
anyway.
Andrew's gonna kill a motherfucker.
He better be hosting. Anyway.
He's gonna get Thorn on his side.
Oh, Lord. Anyway.
Oh my.
Anyway.
As for our two scriptwriters, for episode 1, we have Aaron Dismuke, who's also written for other shows such as Fire Force, It Invaded, and Nabaka. But the rest of the show has been written by Jared Green, who you've seen also write for Appare Raman, Miracle-chan, and Stars Align. Our music staff, we have two directors. One of them also did the adaptation for the songs. Those two being Don Bennett and Emmy Lowe. Don Bennett is also adapted for other shows such as Actors, Songs Connection, Kimono Friends, and Stars on My. Emmy Lowe, this is their first time adapted songs, but they've been getting into the directing game lately with a Genki Doll, which is their first project actually, and Tactop Destiny, which they're assistant directing. And Don is also doing the lyric work. Now, before we get into discussion about this, because I did not realize this until, 2 days ago?
Uh-huh.
Apparently, it was Chris George's birthday.
Oh, yeah! By the time this episode comes out, considering the day we're recording it on, happy belated birthday, Chris.
Here's the gift I mentioned for you, so.
Ta-da!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Anyway.
Anyway, I think just for the purposes of this episode, we could do round robin for ADR and then group for the characters.
Okay.
Sound good?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Since this is a children's show and there's music involved, I think we should probably flip a coin between Noah and Amon, or do.
Flip a coin.
Sure. Let me just do that with the coin. I got one right here. Okay. I'm gonna flip it right now. Amon, heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Let's take a look.
You heard it here first. An actual live coin flip, boys and girls.
It is heads. I'm sorry. I know you can't see it, but yep, it's totally heads. Totally right here with this real coin that I have in my hand. It's totally not.
Oh, so we gotta trust him.
Totally
All right.
Not a poker chip. I mean, I'll let Amon piggyback off of this, but I was impressed that they managed to dub the songs for a show very recently. For shows that have songs like what's a good one? Zombieland Saga. Doing it while it's being like episodes are being released online never seemed to really be either a priority or an ability. Usually they wait for the home video release on that. So I was pleasantly surprised that, hey, all these songs, except for one of the insert songs in the episode where they're eating crabs, and the opening and ending songs are all dubbed into English. It's good. The singing they got for it was perfectly fine. The lyrics for it were not straining at all. Yeah, they definitely seem to be going for we can't do nursery rhymes exactly, so we're going to do very basic, very simple words and lyrics. And I guess I don't have a qualm with that. I'm sure it held the attentions of the 4-year-olds that they were courting for this. Needed more.
Can you
more
imagine
lyrics about
actual children watching this show?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, yes, of course. I am absolutely sure that this show was their primary target audience was children, preschool children. They're showing this in preschools all over the country right now.
My God.
Oh,
The future is
man.
messed up.
Can you imagine a school trying to get away with it by showing kids life lessons with Uramichi?
I mean, fairness, they'd probably just be bored.
The kids would be confused as fuck. The teachers would
Yeah.
relate so hard, though.
Yep, they'd break out the DVD card, just pop that bad boy in.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them sit back, relax, turn the lights off while they're just reading or looking on their cell phone.
It's a secret ploy to break the teachers further.
Oh, man.
Hey, Mrs. Johnson, so we want you to show the children this upbeat children's program. Look at the colors and the happy children in it. And 5 minutes later, oh my God, what have I done with my life?
Teachers are amazing, by the way. Don't give them shit.
You are correct. They work very hard. My daughter's preschool teachers are exceptionally very good at what they do.
Teachers are...
But that's nothing to do with the dubbing portion.
I'm just putting it
Sorry,
out there because I know there's, like, mental health situations and crisis going on with teachers. So, teachers are amazing. Cut them some slack. Just saying.
That is true. Clearly,
We joke because we love.
yes, we do.
Okay, then, nice. Amon, you have anything else you want to say? Or?
This is a fun show. I think the thing I like is that all the segments during it would have been really easy to have the segments when they're shooting Maman sound really fake. Like really laying into it and make everything sound really, really insincere. And I appreciate that it felt like a very concentrated effort that, like, when they're shooting of, like, now we're going to present this, and the anime does this as well, of, like, we're going to present this as, like, something that will end up on air eventually. Which I appreciate. I feel like they could have just fell into the trap of having a lot of... I'll get to this more when we talk about the actual actors, of kind of, like, phoning it in on purpose, and I appreciate that they decided to go the more complicated route of how do we present this as both sincere and also really cynical at the same time. Also, the songs are really funny. I assume for a lot of these, one of the main hurdles towards dubbing songs during simulcast, aside from just, like, getting their hands on the masters, is that adapting song lyrics is hard because you have to translate it and also then write lyrics that fit the meter and rhythm and so on, which if you ever tried to like just sort of hand translate something for fun, that's a lot harder than it seems like it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know, these sound like actual... Musically, they sound like actual children's music. I don't know if any children's artist would actually write a song about why doesn't the bread taste as good at home as it did when it was a free sample in the store. That feels like a very specific adult problem.
I don't know, Amon. You go back and listen to some of those old rappy tapes, and the lyrics are probably a little more complex than we noticed at first.
Oh my god.
Why did I get a Costco membership? I just pay more for food I don't eat.
That could be a song right fucking there for you.
Dude, that'd be an amazing stealth album. Like, format it as a children's album, but then all the lyrics are about really innocuous stuff that only adults get.
That's amazing.
Exactly. That would not be bad. Not bad at all.
It does help to with the matching the meter and everything that they're very simple words. They're not battle rapping, basically.
Thank God.
No, this.
No, God.
The fact that they're kids' tunes to begin with, also, I'm sure that makes it a lot easier to do this thing compared to some of the more stuff like Zombieland Saga, where they are clearly more meant to be like professional songs that would play on the radio type stuff.
Now, my question is, the one song that was translated that's not a kid song is the one that Utana sings, the one that was supposed to be like her
big
breakout debut song.
Yeah.
Her weepy Enka ballad.
Exactly. That one. Did the translation on that come across to you as I suppose fitting with the tone that the original was going for?
It's not. What the fuck's it called?
Sondheim.
No. The one from Yakuza that's been turned into a meme.
Oh.
Bakamite. It's not Bakamite, but it's pretty good. I think it did. Like it. I think that also hit the tone it was going for. It probably helped that I don't think they needed to do the whole song. I think you only hear like a verse maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that scene, just for a minute.
Yeah, because I guess I'll go next on this. Because one of the things I realized with the songs, insert songs in 8, 11, and 12 are not dubbed for whatever reason, but I'm not going to lead in too hard on that. I am going to lead in on the songs that were dubbed, however, and I thought they were pretty amazing for like the type of show it's going for, because, you know, with a lot of children's songs, with a lot of songs in general, there's kind of a tempo you kind of have to match, especially when you're dubbing anime. Like, obviously you're not going to hit it every time, but I thought for the songs that they did dub, it was very great. Given who they got for the singers, was even more impressive, because I know, well, one of them actually does covers. We'll get to him later, but the other kind of surprised me.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Although that that winter video they filmed in the summer, I don't know why that was left in Japanese, even though they tried to attempt to. You know what?
I'm wondering if maybe it could just come down to time constraints with the simuldub.
I'm assuming it's either time constraints, or I'd be curious to see which of these got like CD releases outside of the OST.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because like the OP is supposed to be an in-universe song, and I'm assuming that didn't do it because that almost certainly got a single release as the OP. That probably is either more expensive or there are more people you have to wrangle with, and it's just like, you know what? We don't. It's a TV show. We don't need to be that. It doesn't need to be this complicated.
It's true. I'd be curious to know what might have happened. I mean, especially because the home video release is coming out in the next couple months, I believe, right?
Probably the next month by the time this episode goes up.
Probably. Yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, if they go back, if they end up going back and dubbing the rest of the insert songs, because if it was like a time constraint the first time, or maybe it was a licensing issue, really, what it would come down to.
I guess we'll figure more on that at a later date.
We'll find out
But-
once it comes out on
but-
video. I need to buy it still. Dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Curse me and my part-time job not giving me enough money.
Lilac, did you spend all your money on pachinko?
No, unlike, what's this fucking name? Unlike Usahara, I am a responsible adult and pay for my rent. Unlike Usahara, who's a dumbass, and I love him. No, what's very interesting is a lot of the discussion with the songs has already kind of been said. I will add one interesting piece to it, and it also kind of leads into some of the script writing as well. Some of the songs are so fucking cringe and corny in the most loving way possible.
Yep.
And that is the exact fucking point.
Oh yeah.
It's great, because, what was it? So, Andrew and I, back in September, when we went to Kineticon, Aaron Dismuke was actually a guest, and so we actually talked to him. And by that point, there was at least a couple episodes of Uramichi out for the dub. And so we let him know, we talked to him, we were like, yeah, we've been watching Uramichi, we've been enjoying the dub so much. And he's like, oh, that's awesome! Did you notice some of the, like, what did you think, he asked, like, our honest opinion about, like, what did you think about, like, some of the use of, like, actual, like, Japanese language, like, konnichiwa, or, like, daijobu.
Daijobu.
Yep.
Yeah, that gets used a lot.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, it's great, especially because it's, like, a kid's show, and he's like, yep, and it's very cringy, which it makes it sound even more cringy, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
I will say
Which is
that
the
was
point.
that was one reason I think you and I gave this show a W for best writing, because normally with any kind of show, if you keep some of the honorifics in the show like that, it can kind of come off as a little unwarranted, or like you don't exactly understand what's going on with the show. With this one, they knew exactly what they were doing.
100% what they're doing with it.
Yeah,
It definitely merits keeping the Japanese side of things, because this is such a Japanese-centric
Yes.
programming. They
there's
point out
no
that
way about that.
It's an NHK show. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's an MHK program.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually, I never got around to doing this, but I meant to at some point look at the Japanese side and see if part of this is that they were riffing on, I know it's often popular to kind of use semi-random English in certain kind of Japanese contexts, because it's kind of perceived as cool. I'm curious if you switch over to Japanese track, are they saying like Ohio or something, or are they using like awkwardly inserted English to sound?
I mean, there's that one
for the
segment
5-year-olds.
in the last episode that co-director Amon, not our Amon, the other one,
What? Hello?
decided to write with what was it? Ni hao girl, fucking
Namaste.
Ola man,
yes,
namaste.
That was pretty cringy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
she's so
and
mad.
then you have fucking Uramichi as bonjour man, just sitting there in a
Oh,
chair,
God.
baguette in hand, with the most depressed look on his face, like fuck this show. So I'd be curious, because I feel like in the Japanese that would definitely open up for potentially using other languages, of course.
I mean, I have to assume that since they're dressed as nationalities of other countries, that the greetings themselves were supposed to be
probably.
actually greetings. from
Oh,
them.
probably.
I was looking for the cowboy, and it's like, where's the how? I'm Mr. Howdy. or
Mr.
something
Howdy?
stupid like that.
Instead, you have fucking Usa-chan in fucking Uncle Sam outfit.
Yeah, something like that. However, the Japanese view America.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure at this point. After the
Oh, Lord knows. But no,
Oh, you know, Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle Doodle, man.
that's
Oh,
a
God.
callback right there.
I saw that episode the other week too.
Oh, shit.
That's a callback.
But no,
Thank you, Samurai Champloo.
But no, like, my favorite kind of comedy, and I'm so excited to talk about this show in particular, because I don't think we've had many, if at all, any opportunities to talk about more dark comedies like this.
The last one we probably did was about a year ago, actually, is when
Which one
me,
was that?
Amon, and Andrew covered Kakishigoto.
Oh yeah, that
was
one's.
written-
It's not as dark as this though.
Maybe not, but the sense of humor is
The sense of
definitely
humor
very
is similar.
Not hurt by the fact that that show was written by the guy who wrote Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
'Cause
I
of
saw
course.
a lot of people compare this show to Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
No, Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei is like even darker humor than fucking Kaguchi Goto.
That's true. And no one's trying to get taller in this show, thankfully. But it's still very bleak.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So, at least for me, then, as far as I know of, we don't talk about dark comedies that often here on the podcast, and it makes me sad because dark comedy, that's my brand of humor. I like really weird, fucked up shit. Apparently, oh man.
You heard it here, folks. A Watamote episode is right around the corner.
Fuck that. A Welcome to the NHK episode should be right around the corner. Are you kidding me?
I've got Blu-ray for one of those, but
I have
I don't know.
save edition for one of them.
This is very, very off topic, but you know what the guy who wrote the original novel, Welcome to the NHK, you know what he did with the proceeds from that book, right?
No, actually.
Tell us.
He basically used it to self-fund his continued existence as a hikikomori.
That sounds very on brand, and I love it.
That's sort of beautiful in a terrible way.
Isn't it? We enabled his continued
that's
not
amazing.
getting a job.
We are all when he is eventually found dead in his apartment. We will all be responsible.
Whoops. But no, like,
You did that.
dark comedy has always been something that I take to. Dark comedy and dry humor. So going into this show, when I watched it the first time with Andrew in tow, I was like, what the fuck is even happening? And why do I love it so much? Because you wouldn't expect a show about a kid's TV show to be this, like, have this much depression and self-deprecating humor involved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's brilliantly done. The script and the music adaptations are both brilliantly done, and they handle this very, very well. And kudos to Chris George on the directing front. Because, Lord almighty, this show is a lot, and you have to be really on point with the comedic timing for this.
Yeah, isn't that the irony, is that they could have easily turned this into more of a gag dub where the characters like punch up the existential dread and the snarkiness to one another. But because Chris makes everyone kind of maintain a somewhat sensible level of decency, nobody really does punch it up so much that it feels completely different from the tone of the original Japanese.
Yeah, they punch up, if you want to say they punch up anything, they just punch up a tiny bit with the recorded sessions, with the filming sessions with the kids, because that's their job. But when the philosophical or the dark humor comes in, it all just, especially for Uramichi, that facade just breaks instantly. And it just makes the humor hit that much harder when that happens, instead of them, like Noah was saying, punching it up for even more effect. And it just works so well. And oh my god, I love the casting on this so much. I love who plays Uramichi. Just saying. Because I didn't think this was gonna happen. But surprise.
Yep,
There are some
surprises
fun
come by for every quarter.
performances in this cast. Just saying.
I will say I'm not always one for dark humor, but when it works, it works.
Oh, it hits so well. I love
And
it.
Chris George definitely knew what he was doing with the casting, because other than maybe a couple people, a lot of this is kind of remote, to be honest, because that was the surprising part with the main cast, because again, like Steph was saying, you wouldn't expect who they got to play Uramichi. Hell, I wouldn't expect who they got to play Utsuno either,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it
like
works.
Chris George is a madman. The guy did direct the dub for Pop Team Epic. So this is just a walk in the park for him. So,
Yeah.
The last thing I'd like to note is that I do appreciate that in Jared's writing that they do. It feels like they slip in a couple of vernacular phrases here and there. Like I think at one point somebody mentions like, "I just spilled a drink all over your crotch," which it's like a very feels like a more vernacular way to say.
I
that
do
phrase.
remember Utano saying at one point "swamp ass."
Yep.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, they're just kind of peppered throughout it.
Oh,
And
there's Sorry, there's another.
It stands in contrast to the like on-set dialogue, definitely.
Yep. There's another line that I love so much. It was in episode 8 where the station manager's daughter and her son visit, and she has a thing for fucking Ikiteru, apparently, as a joke.
Oh, no.
And then the voice of God, who is played by Kent Williams in this show, as an FYI, says the following, stating that apparently the station manager's daughter has said, "I can work for my snack," in the very Kent Williams normal, like, serious narrator type tone. It's just great.
God, that episode.
That's the instances, and really throughout the entirety of the show, is I really wish that Crunchyroll would have the option to have the subtitles running with the dub, because I'm like, I gotta know what the original line was, and I don't want to have to, restart the episode on the subtrack just to figure it out.
If anything, there's a Twitter account that could do that for you. I think Dub Clips is their name, something like that. I'll link you to them later on, but they could probably do that for you. So.
But Jamal, I'm asking for instant gratification.
I just want to know now.
Give it to me now.
You'll get gratification, but it's gonna take some time. Speaking of taking some time, are y'all ready to move on?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so pretty much everybody here from here on out is gonna be laid into groups of 5, because there's a lot to cover with this show, and if you see the what the hell was it? The Ones Within episode, so we're gonna do something similar to that.
Okay.
Except less of a visual assault on the eyes viewer.
Because the cast is a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. Everybody kind of bounces off each other one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, hold on a second. Jamal, I'm sorry, but it was my understanding that we were going to talk about each of the child actors in the show.
My
and I
God.
have a full list here.
okay,
Notes
Sit your ass down,
Tell me
Noah.
right here that I wrote all these notes
Sit
for
your
nothing.
ass down.
Okay, two
What
things.
the fuck?
One, we ain't got time to unpack all of that. And two, Danny Chambers had the sickest burn in episode 2 to Uramichi.
Oh, which one?
What was it? I forgot.
The one where she tells Uramichi that he needs to get some friends.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
It's hard to narrow it down. It's like every other line the kids are throwing out. Why haven't you gotten married?
Yeah.
I will say one thing about the show with this dark humor though. If any kid had started crying over Michi's dialogue, that would be a deal breaker for me, because it comes off as creepy, but at least it didn't come off too much as scary, because some of these kids are smarter than that.
Oh no,
you know?
yeah. And it's interesting because Uramichi as a character, like, as much of a depressed, self-deprecating human being as he is, he genuinely cares about these kids. That is one thing that is like consistent. He does care about the kids.
What?
I don't know if care about the kids is the right phrase so much as doesn't want to ruin their lives, essentially. Like, I feel like there's a bit of a difference there.
Well,
That's caring.
the kids make him feel all warm and fuzzy inside, so he cares about them. There are moments where he's genuinely happy that the kids are so nice to him. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. Anyway.
While we're talking about the children, I did have a question I wanted to ask.
What's up?
while they're shooting the kids scenes, you'll occasionally see some of the small girls have this hairstyle that appears to be a ponytail that comes out of the side of your head. How the fuck does that work?
What?
Every time I saw that, it distracted me because it's like, what does that look like when your hair's not up? Is it what?
How does your hair
What?
work? Is it like super long on the one side? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I was like, that was my question. What is that?
As a girl,
is that a real haircut children have these days? What is this?
As the only female presenting person in this episode this evening, even I don't fucking know how that works.
Well, as the only person with a daughter in this chat, I'll tell you exactly how. The dad did her hair that day.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation.
There you go.
Okay, then. So let's move on to more stuff. Actually, behind the scenes, cool. We have it's interesting. We have a couple of people who work in merchandise and marketing. And then we have some of the TV staff. We have Kikaku, who works in merchandising. He's very miserable working at his job. Oh, I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
He's Uramichi, but worse.
In charge of deciding new products, new toys to keep the show going. Because, no TV show doesn't just run our exposure. It's merchandise for this kind of thing.
Of course.
Ask any Power Ranger fan, they will tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Ask any TV show, any kids' TV show these days. They are running entirely on buy our branded products.
Hello, Hasbro.
He's basically what somebody described as a goth Miyano. So, and he kind of has.
I can see it.
It was something that Andrew kind of said. Either Andrew or Amon, I can't remember who. But anyway, and he kind of has it in. He's a new hire. He kind of has it in with one of the other new hires, Uebu. Doesn't talk much. Kind of prefers 2D life. Is nearsighted.
He's an otaku. It's great.
As evidenced by Kikaku breaking his glasses. I kind of think it's kind of when you have these two together, because the one thing about Kikaku, I learned this just today. His name's Hanbi Kikaku, and apparently in Japanese that kind of translates to something along the lines of sales and merchandise, that kind of thing.
Oh, so they were
thought
almost literal with that. Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Oh my god, a name pun in an anime? I'm shocked.
Yeah, but unfortunately for
Kikaku,
Kikaku, things did not go according to Keikaku. So
I thought, oh my god, when I was rewatching it, I'm like, did they purposely name Keikaku after Keikaku? And then you said that, I'm like, okay, that makes more sense.
yeah. Well, also kind of doesn't make sense is we have a director here by the name of Amon. Long hair, scruffy beard. That was a good dusty old song or two. Wait, wrong Amon. No, but he actually does have long hair and scruffy beard. He's one of the two directors of this show. Somehow we don't get introduced to him to halfway through the show. Because Kumatani's just pointing out to Uzaha, he's like, dude, he's been here the whole time, man. It's like,
yeah,
he's desperate.
This guy primarily is the one who helps write some of the segments.
Yeah, he's desperate, stuff for ideas. And he kind of pitches them to the other director.
Oh my god, Direcida. Oh my god.
Speaking of lazy naming.
Oh my god.
Oh, this guy.
I'm seeing this now.
This guy.
Oh my god.
That is almost as good as one episode of Arthur where they had the director be named literally Dr. Ector.
Fuck.
Oh shit!
See, that's at least cute. Naming this guy Akita feels like an act of contempt on the part of the author.
Oh, probably.
Oh,
you don't get a real name.
Do you mean to tell me his name is actually Director?
That's exactly what we were saying. He had no choice but to be a director when he grew up.
How the fuck did I not notice that?
Because you never pronounced it out loud before now.
Dorekita.
He's a wrecker is what he is.
Oh god, this guy.
Yeah, kind of unable to read the situation. Or, actually, no, he doesn't really fully care about the situation at hand. Like, okay, to put this clearly to you viewers, have you ever had a boss who, like, you think he might have your best interest at heart, but he really doesn't? Or he doesn't really care entirely?
Oh, yeah.
That's the record in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah. Accurate.
Have you ever had the boss where they were really good to you for maybe the first couple of months, but by the time you've worked into the groove of the job and they think that you can handle yourself, they suddenly stop seeming to care about your well-being?
I think you are both giving this guy way too much credit. This guy never cared about anybody's well-being.
Yeah, basically. Because as evidence in the music video episodes,
Oh, but I forgot about that, yeah. There's got to be...
We need to shoot this 6 months in advance.
We need to shoot this winter video 6 months in advance in the sweltering heat of summer.
this
Now,
video's a
obviously,
trash fire.
Sit at
Trash
this
fire.
kotatsu.
Now, obviously,
This
we can't
video's a
afford real
trash fire.
fireworks.
Trash fire.
We'll green screen that. Well, why didn't you green screen the whole thing?
Wait, you tell me that our video regarding right left mass corrupt and we can't use any of it? But that segment is tomorrow. We need Uramichi to vigorously swing his neck left and
As
right.
Uramichi sits there having slept wrong the night before and is in terrible neck pain. He's like,
And
fuck!
This is why unions are a thing, people.
Anyway.
Yeah, basically. It's like when I tell my boss to 86 something at work, they don't want to take it off the menu just yet. Nah, we'll substitute that with this. It'll work, trust me.
Anyway.
Anyway.
You know who I do trust? I do trust this final character you're gonna mention.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes, the choreographer, Fritsuke Cappellini, which I learned the hard way. Do not Google Cappellini on Twitter search. Not unless you follow somebody.
Oh.
Okay, I'm about to do that right now.
Oh, no!
No.
pull up Twitter.
No.
Let me just type in the words Cappellini, 2 L's. Okay, and let's see what comes up.
Noah's taking one for the team right now.
Oh, he's taking one already.
Do I want to know?
No, you do not want to know.
Okay. You good, buddy?
You guys give me a minute here. I'm gonna go lie down.
See,
all
people,
right, we lost
when we
Noah.
try to warn you, about something, please take it to heart.
There's a bunch of bad stairs, bruh.
Look, if you tell me not
Noah
to
did it
touch
for the bit. Noah sacrificed himself for the bit. I appreciate
If you
that.
tell me not to touch the hot iron, I won't be able to stop thinking, what am I missing out on?
Anyway, getting back on track.
Alright,
Yes,
back.
we also our last character in this group is our choreographer, Fritsuke Cappellini. Or as he kind of looks like to me a gay Bobobo.
A gay
I kind of put him in here because
I see it and I don't mind that.
they show up in a few episodes, but really it was the when the cast gets ready for the Together with Mamoru concert. Mm-hmm. Which, not gonna lie, has kind of one of my favorite scenes. It's just Cappellini popping up the Woodland characters. He palm strikes Usahara in the nuts. And I couldn't help but laugh.
And then after that, Cappellini has a thing for Usahara. It's kind of
No,
hilarious.
it is kind of hilarious,
It's great, I
even
love it.
accidentally, yes. Mm-hmm. But playing these five, Kikaku is played by Jai Young Bosch. Uebu is played by Stephen Fu. Amon is played by J. Michael Tatum.
What?
No.
You didn't know? J. Michael Tatum voices you.
My voice isn't nearly sonorous enough. I feel ripped off.
But you are as tall as him, though.
Surprise!
That is true.
Yes. Dracula is voiced by Eric Vale, and Capoli is voiced by David Wald. Young Bosch, you've heard this, Ichigo Kurosaki in Bleach. Artemis in the Fist redub of Sailor Moon. But of course, you can't talk about dubbing in a children's show without his biggest role of all, Adam Park in the Power Rangers franchise.
Aw, yeah.
Stephen Fu, you've also heard as Genji and Kakuryou Bed and Breakfast for Spirits, and Hachikita and Robi Hachi. J. Michael Tatum, does he really need an introduction? You've heard of Miss Owen Smith in Attack on Titan, and Sebastian McInnis in Black Butler. Eric Vale, you've heard him as Desert Punk in Desert Punk, and Tomura Shigaraki in My Hero Academia. David Wald, does he really need an introduction? You've heard him as Adam in Skate the Infinity, and Star with Flip Flappers.
Oh, lordy.
So how you want to start this group discussion? One character at a time, or free for all?
I think free for all might be fine, honestly.
Yeah.
Unless y'all think otherwise.
I have something to
Okay.
say.
What's that?
I've never heard Johnny Young Bosch have a meltdown.
Yes.
But he should do it more often because it's really funny. He is so angry.
God. He curses out everybody. Like,
Just,
oh my god.
and just a man who is absolutely furious at the world at all times.
Mm-hmm.
There is no joy in Kikachu Land.
Like,
Everyone fucks up.
what,
It's always his problem.
what is his fucking introduction for Keikaku? We learn in like the first like 2-3 minutes of him appearing that he's in a band that has fucking failed. His girlfriend apparently left him because she apparently like
Just
wanted
one
to
of
get
his
married
girls.
and have kids, and he wouldn't do it or some shit. And
No, what happened was he said that she didn't want to get married to have kids, and he was chasing the dream that was bogging him down. And then after she left, she kind of found him on She kind of found her on Facebook and found out it was kind of a lie. But
oh yeah,
really
that's
he-
right.
She didn't want to settle down and have kids with him.
That's what it was.
That's the
That's the
difference.
difference.
She did not want to make Prime Minister Shinzo Abe proud.
Wow.
But only with Kikaku.
Oh my god. No. What's
This other dude, she'll make him proud all night.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
No, like, oh my god. You've heard Johnny have, like, meltdowns or get angry before. But you haven't heard him have, like, an actual fucking meltdown. Like, to this
Multiple times.
extent.
And I can't figure out which one was the better one. Was it the one where he loses his shit about pre-orders, or was it at the Christmas party when he has the angry phone call about how he doesn't even want to be there?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I think my favorite is when he's actively arguing with Uebu, just because it's funny to hear him take his rage out on somebody who just really is not even remotely bothered by how mad
Yeah,
this man is.
because one of the running gags that we have with these two is that Uebu, who again is in charge of like marketing and shit, he's the one who posts the listings for like merchandise on the website, but it's merchandise that doesn't fucking exist. So Kaku gets pissed off at Uebu about it. It's like, this doesn't even exist yet. Why are you putting it online? It's like, look, it's already selling. It's like, god damn it!
Who would order this? The people putting in pre-orders. God damn it!
Yeah, it's just a crazy
Man,
shit.
parents will buy anything that's got their kids' favorite characters on it, and
Yeah.
I mean anything, including a glove.
Kikaku is such a nice flip side to Uramichi, where Uramichi's frustration tends to manifest as kind of despair and quiet emotions, and Kikaku, who clearly hates his job even more than Uramichi might his, he just rages at everything around him.
Basically.
So
Yeah, Uebu doesn't appear as much, and then Keikaku, oh my god, every time Keikaku, when he's not having a fucking meltdown, he's just like the brightest, cheeriest, like sweetest guy, and he's like, for Uramichi, he's like trying to get to know him because it's like, oh my god, maybe I could be friends with him. We're kind of similar. And then the second he has it's the whole gag with Uramichi has the door to his heart, and it slowly opens when he thinks he can kind of let Keikaku in. And then the second Keikaku starts going into a fit of rage and anger, the doors slam and they lock shut. It's like, nope. It's fucking great. Oh my god.
Great.
So I haven't really been keeping up with some of the actors that we're talking about. Has John Young Bosch been doing a whole lot of anime voiceover recently?
I mean, yeah, he'll do bits here and there. Like,
Yeah, he
Right, bits
doesn't
here and there.
pop up in like, I haven't really seen him pop up in like really major roles, if that's your question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. He doesn't like, back in the heyday of like the 2000s, he was leads in a lot of things. I think
Right.
usually he plays a lot of like side characters.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so
nowadays.
it's not just me missing some big new role that he's been in.
No,
Okay.
not really. It's mostly side
Because it was
characters
refreshing
he's been
to-
playing more, honestly.
I mean, it's refreshing to hear him again. I mean, it's always a thrill to hear him because he's just, a really naturally good voice to listen to.
Right.
And in those intense lose your shit moments, it's a lot of fun to listen to because I can hear like the unbridled, unrestrained voice of a million lead characters from decades past.
Fucking, you can hear Ichigo Kurosaki, a little bit of Astro
You can hear
Stampede
Ichigo.
in there, maybe a little Rent and
Oh, yeah.
Thurston.
I hear Adam Park just losing his mind. So.
Oh yeah, take the audio from this and put it over footage of like later season Power Rangers.
Oh my god.
Why
Speaking
would
of which, I
anybody
got.
buy this? What's wrong with this world? Cut to a Power Ranger.
By the
commercial
way,
with a
side
scene.
tangent, because I saw the Samurai Champloo episode. Just so you know, Amon, Kim Strauss was in Power Rangers. Just throwing that out there.
Well, there you go.
Surprise.
And for you, Noah, Patricia from Lucky Star was also in Power Rangers.
Really?
The Venn diagram of Power Ranger actors to LA voice actors is a circle. Just,
It is indeed a circle.
I legitimately thought that Bryan Cranston being in Power Rangers was the most interesting comparison you were gonna make, but nope. Patricia from Lucky Star.
But I really love, like, Johnny just freaking the fuck out. And I kind of hope he gets to have more fun with the occasional really whacked out roles like this. And, of course, fucking Chomp Chomp Bacon in fucking Pop Tea.
I call bullshit on that.
I still call bullshit on that, too. But that was a thing, because Chris George
Well,
is,
how
again, a goddamn madman.
Well, two things. One, Chris George was having my speed dial for stuff like this.
Oh, I
'cause
bet.
It's this, Pop Team Epic, and Black Clover.
Yeah, that's right.
That I've
He's
seen
a
to be a
side
part
character
of.
in Black Clover that comes up later.
And two, I thought I knew his range, but when Hardy told me he was Chop Chop Bacon, I immediately called bullshit.
Chop Chop Bacon? I didn't realize it either, and then I already said it. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
On the flip side of things, Stephen Fu's fine and all. He's just very unassuming and in a very intentional way.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's the right level of like flat, but like correct flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not,
Wait,
sorry, it's not monotone. No one here is monotone, but it's definitely the I am so checked out voice.
It's kind of...
I want to go home and oogle my 2D wife.
It kind of has like not really. I don't want to say subtle. It's kind of like a dry, like a little bit of a dry sense of humor to him in the voice, which makes a lot of sense for a Weibo. Again, my favorite thing that Steven got to have fun with is the end of the year rap party, where he's talking to the ladies and also Capolini.
Yeah.
About having an interest. He's like, I don't have an interest in 3D women. I only prefer my waifus and my body. No, my colleague in the merchandising department broke my glasses and threatened to take all of my body pillows and mail them back mail them back home to my parents one by one. And then all the ladies
That's
were like, "Ooh, no, we're not gonna touch that."
That's a legitimate threat. It could be like, I will threaten to shred your body pillows. That's one thing. I will threaten to mail them to your parents. That's scary.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think out of the 5, really, Uebu doesn't have really much. He just pops up a few times, mostly in the one episode where, 1, he's introduced with Keikaku, and 2 is also happens to be the episode where it's the end of the year party.
Yeah.
But, no, he's a lot of fun. Oh, look, we're getting pre-orders right now. What the fuck?
I think I would have liked the show a little bit more if they kind of interwove these characters earlier in the show.
Oh no, yeah,
maybe had
100%. It would have been a lot more fun. But I think considering Keikaku's character though, being as energetic as he is in the delivery, it might have. I feel like having his introduction a little bit later on in the show makes more sense because you're not like wearing out the viewer so fast.
Not to spoil anything, but I got kind of worn out on parts of the show very early on, so I would have enjoyed that energy a little bit earlier.
Okay, I guess to each their own.
I suspect we're seeing a function of, I have not read the manga, but I'm assuming this is probably like relatively straight adaptations of at least segments of it, so I'm assuming it's kind of like, you know, characters get introduced at about the same rate they did in the manga.
Probably.
Feels like it.
Probably, that would make sense.
By the way, it kind of surprised me to learn that this was originally a josei manga. I would not have pegged this kind of style for that.
Most of those, like, shonen, josei, whatever categories are kind of nonsense.
That's a good point, yes.
That's really just tells you, this is who we expect to buy. This is who buy the magazine that this runs in more than anything else.
Which is why the term shonen kind of gets abused a lot, if you know what the literal meaning of it is.
Yeah, it's a boys manga. Oh, so what genre is it?
It's broadly
manga.
aimed at 10-year-old boys. Very broadly.
Which is
Very
why
much
when
so.
people hear shoujo, they think of like romance and stuff. No, it means they expect it to be for young girls. Like, it doesn't have to be like a romance manga, that kind of thing. It's just what it means.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look.
One thing is kind of bothered me for a little while, but you know.
Yeah, RoboCop could have totally been in a shoujo manga.
Oh, good God.
I mean.
Wow.
With a little bit of tweaking.
I mean, let us note, Junji Ito got his start in Halloween, a magazine aimed at women. That is a shoujo magazine, technically.
Lordy lord. Yeah. Goddamn.
Anyways.
It's an untapped market. But yeah, so by the way, Amon, I thought you were amazing in this show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had
please
such range on you.
Neither did I.
But please cut your bag, so.
Surprise!
So is this gonna be like a
please cut your
Spider-Man
bag, so.
symbiote thing where you fall asleep and the suit takes over your body and you wake up, you had no knowledge?
Well, that would explain why I don't remember recording anything, so maybe.
So in all honesty, I don't have too much to say on J. Michael Tatum's Amon director. It just kind of is there. I think it's less standoutish and less in your face than the other two that we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have at least the wide range of the kind of people who fall into the entertainment industry. You've got people like Kikaku and Uebu who are obviously not really there by passion or there for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the other two characters who we'll talk about who feel very passionate about their work.
Oh yeah.
Amon feels like right in between the two. Like, he's got a passion for the job, but it's not like he's not having as much fun with it as the other two.
Yeah. Well. The thing with Amon as a character is, and he said this a few times, he wants to leave his mark on the world.
But he already has.
I know, but he.
Oh, wait, you said Amon is a character. Never mind.
I mean, wanting to leave your mark on the world of entertainment, that's all well and good, but clearly don't know what kind of program you're making here.
Yeah, neither does he, clearly, because he runs out of ideas really fucking quick, and apparently he he has to take to, at least in the last episode, following Uramichi around to get some form of inspiration. Hence the
believe we call
earlier
that
mention
stalking?
of Bonjour Man. Oh, because apparently getting a big life-size baguette pillow thing means, ooh, I have an idea. Bonjour Man.
There's a genre for the kind of programming that I feel like they're putting on. It's marketed as like, you know, fun and kind of wacky for kids, but honestly, it feels much closer to like nightmare fuel public access shows that like, you know, flood creepypastas on the internet. They weren't trying to be creepy, but they are.
So the one, they're not supposed to be upsetting. They're just kind of too janky and poorly made to not be upsetting.
Yeah, accurate.
Exactly. The visuals are sickly, the audio is not very good, and they don't have the budget to pull off the ambition they're going for, so you've just got very, very nightmare-inducing imagery that people will not forget, but they won't know where they saw it from 20 years later.
It's not
As a
Did I have a fever dream about two people in like really cheap looking masks having conversations upside down, or was that actually a thing?
whoops. Can I also just say, per Uramichi, he gets the short end of the stick with the costumes on a constant basis.
It's cause he has the distinct disadvantage of being the only person on the cast who's fit.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's a gymnast Oniisan, and then we're gonna go back to Bonjour Man again. He has a fucking tank top that shows his rippling fucking pecs and shit and his biceps. No, and the shirt has macarons printed all over. He's wearing a crown of fucking macarons, and he has a baguette in his arm.
It's a common fact that all children's television hosts were absolutely ripped. I mean, you don't know. Mr. Rogers could have been ripped under that sweater. You don't know.
I know most of them were miserable because I remember there was a show on BBC years ago called Room 101, and one of the TV presenters talked about how he got his start doing the children's show, and they showed the clip where he had to shut up a mechanical bird that was right next to him. And he looked annoyed. And I kept trying to find that clip because I know that was relevant to this. Because that's how Uramichi kind of feels, you know.
Like an
Especially when he
HR
has to-
pup and stuff kind of program.
Especially when he has to take out the Usahara most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Poor Usahara, the poor sap. But no, oh my god, Tatum is a delight.
Alright, so that having been said, what about oh god.
Oh,
This guy.
the Rekida?
I'm going to say what I say with love.
Okay.
Eric Vale.
preference.
Eric Vale is really good at playing characters you want to punch.
Yep.
I've never met him. He seems like a very nice guy. He is a very talented actor, but characters you kind of want to strangle are like a wheelhouse he is very good in. And he
Now see, me and...
uh-huh.
go ahead.
Nerakita is Eric Vale at his most punt him into the sun. It's a fantastic performance.
You're right. You are 100% right. Me and Stephanie have actually met Eric Vale before.
I've
We
met
went to
him a
one of
few
his
times.
panels.
I've met him a few times. He's really nice.
Yeah, he is very nice, but he's very what's the word?
He's very
nice way to word it?
snarky.
Snarky is
Yeah,
good, right?
basically.
He prefaced one of his panels by saying, "So I forgot what I labeled this panel, but it turns out one of the best ways to recoup your badge cost is to host a panel on a Sunday. So we're just gonna open this up to Q&A for the next hour."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
That's good.
He's great, and
so-
he has like fun, phenomenal stories. It's like amazing, and he's also honest. He's also very honest. When we went to Kineticon, because he was one of the guests for Kineticon last year, and Andrew and I went to a panel that consisted of My Hero villains. So it had Eric, it had Leah Clark, Derek Snow, Jeremy Inman, and I feel like there was at least one more. No, I think it was the 4 of them, because it was the 3 of them there, and then Eric on the other side. By his lonesome, because that's how he rolls sometimes. And the conversation magically came up about Peach Girl. Right.
Oh, God.
And Eric's like, oh my God, I hate that show. I remember that. He just, like, out of nowhere, he's like, oh my God, that show. It's such a drama. He wasn't a fan of it, and he worked on some of it for staffing-wise. But he's a funny human being, that's for sure. But dear sweet lord, you want to know what Derekita kind of reminded me of?
What?
I think I have notes here. How Eric voices him kind of reminds me of those old Hollywood directors that are kind of just like, "You're gonna be a star, kid. Way to go!"
Yeah, they got a big cigar they're always gnawing on.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like
And
the
then,
trope,
yeah,
but in this case, it's a little bit more oblivious to very oblivious to the shit they do. Because dear sweet lord, Derekita doesn't know the fuck he does.
No, he doesn't. As is pointed out in the last episode, they are not making anything in this studio that Hollywood would make.
Yeah, to the point where, if going back to the fucking winter music video in the goddamn summer, Kumatani ain't having shit anymore.
It's a good thing you brought that up, because I feel at that point Kumatani might put him in his place. Hence why he said that in the last episode, that he ain't making shit like Hollywood does, because he probably come to realize just a little bit, because the narrator did say that his demands became slightly less absurd.
Yes. So. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because Kumatani gave him a piece of his own medicine, essentially. He stuffed Derekita in the fucking bear costume. Just so he feels how fucking hot it is and what he's putting everybody through. Because Kumatani don't take shit from no one. We love him for it.
What kind of stood out to me about Derekita's performance is that, well, I should probably ask first, did any one of you guys watch the sub version of this at all?
Nope, I didn't get the chance.
Okay, because I was wondering about how closely the Japanese sounded to Derekita, because Eric makes him sound younger than he looks. Like, I look at that character design and I'm like thinking he should probably have like a bit of an older, maybe not cragglier, but just slightly older sounding voice. And Eric's portrayal of him just makes him sound like he's almost the same age as the cast who's in front of the camera. That's not a criticism exactly. That's just it's a feature that I don't know if Eric can do old man sounding voice. I've never heard him do something
odd, because I felt the voice was appropriate. I think it's more. I thought it was appropriate kind of more because of the character's stature, like height-wise. He's not the tallest guy in the room. And he's also, when you look at the character, he kind of has a little bit of a pretentious look to him when you think about it.
A little?
You see where I'm going with this, though. Like, I feel like the voice matches, like, what the character looks like to me. So that's very interesting that we had, like, the opposite thoughts on it.
Now that you've mentioned this, his haircut reminds me of Emo Phillips, and now I'm imagining Emo Phillips playing this character.
Okay.
I don't know who Emo Phillips is.
Have you seen UHF?
No.
Oh, yes, I have.
He's the carpenter teacher who cuts his thumb off.
Oh.
That's how he talks. That's how he talks all the time. Anyways.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that movie.
But one thing that always gets me is kind of like a directorception, if you will, because when you directed somebody, who has to direct somebody in a fake TV production in an anime.
Yep.
It's like, how do you know when to draw the criticism? Because like For all we know, he could have just done his role in one take.
Yeah.
Or Chris would be like, no, I need you to be crappier.
I need
That
you to
kind
be
of
an
thing.
awful person who doesn't give a shit about his actors.
So, I have a question. Are you the kind of person who will stay late for a job or come in early for a job?
Oh God.
Oh, God.
This is a hypothetical, right? Yeah, hypothetical. This is a hypothetical.
No, he's straight up. No, no, you gotta pick one.
Boy, that's some serious work TSD right there.
The only thing I can hope is that the actors are getting paid hourly and not salary.
Oh my God.
I mean, it would make sense if they'd be paid hourly if
I mean, look, as long as they get paid a very good rate, you know.
Yeah.
You
and
would
most
think,
actors,
but
they should get paid by the hour, especially if you're sleeping on the job or sleeping at the office. You should get paid for those hours.
one would hope.
But honestly, I feel the standout performance in this whole group here is more so than anyone else, but by a small margin, is David Wall's Capellini.
Yes.
Yes.
Now here's the thing that stood out to me is that we're never really told if Capellini is trans or just cross-dressing, or we're not quite sure what.
That's why at this point I'm just saying non-binary, because at one point they said, I think in episode 6 or 7 when they go to the hot springs, that beyond man and woman.
Yeah, so we're not. Yeah, so it's.
What the hell is that? Something Liza, something Queen.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
So when I'm listening to the performance, I'm expecting maybe more of a flamboyant, over the top, an aging Shakespearean kind of delivery. But because the character's facial expression and demeanor is much more stoic, David Wald is much more professional sounding. It stands in stark contrast to the first character that came to my mind was there's a drag queen character in Oran High School Host Club who runs a bed and breakfast, voiced by Sunny Straight. Yeah, Misuzu, voiced by Sunny Straight. That is very over the top, and the animation.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, Isuzu, you said, okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking Ivanka.
No.
The other drag character. Yeah. So I'm gonna praise David because David absolutely got the stoicism and the professionalness. This is not a drag character who is startled by a stink bug, does not lose their cool. They are, as they put it in their own words, practically perfect in every way.
We love
Copyright Mary
Capellini.
Poppins.
Capellini is a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. Or at the very least, Capellini is a strong, independent woman who just wants Usahara for some reason. Because that is a running joke. No, I love. Oh my god! Every time David gets to be a fabulous character like this, I'm just like A+. Because Capellini don't take no shit. Capellini is like all about being, again, that strong, independent woman that they are. And Capellini knows exactly what they want. Let's be real. Like, it's... I love it. Whenever David gets to play such fun, fabulous characters like this, he knocks it out of the park, like, every fucking time. And I love it. You get him, girl. God damn.
Oh, that was another one of my favorite deliveries, and I don't even remember the context, but it was just a straight up girl.
Girl.
I think it was at the Christmas party is where that line came from.
Probably.
Yeah, basically.
That makes sense. Girl. Trying to think what else for Capellini. Oh my god.
It's a good performance.
It's very good. I love Capellini.
David Wald is the best David Wald can be. Oh, okay, here we go. I found the line.
Oh, yeah?
Beyond man and woman, lies the irresistible power of a queen.
Hell yeah. And then all of the girls are like, my queen.
Yeah.
My queen. I love that bit.
Yeah, that's another one where I would have liked to have seen what the original subtitle said it was, and got an idea about like how loosely adapted did they make it in dub? Because whatever they did, they matched the scene very well.
Yeah, basically, but overall, I think everybody did a fine job here.
Heck yeah.
We good to move on?
Yes.
If we must enter the dread of getting older and
Oh my god, I'm excited now because this is gonna be fucking fun.
bring it on,
Hey.
roll them in.
Yeah, so we're going on in together with my mind. That's right. We'll be talking about the stars of the hit MHK show Together with My Mind, i.e., our main cast for this show. Starting with Usahara and Kumatani. They were Uramichi's juniors. They were Uramichi's juniors in college. Apparently, they went to a sports nutrition college, from the sounds of it. Usahara is kind of a free. Well, no, he is a freeloader.
Yeah.
And
He is he anybody? Nope, he is no bunny.
he's a freeloader. He's kind of He is tactless,
Oh yeah.
especially when he's talking about Michi.
He does not know how to read a room.
So I can think of one person who's worse than that. His roommate Kumatani, very observant, very astute, very quiet, and does not say a word anytime Usahara gets his ass into trouble.
Bro, why don't you help me? You did it to yourself, man.
Bro, help me out. I need a way out of this conversation. I'm sorry, sir, but do I know you?
Yes! Help me, Kumatani! Sir, why are you talking to me? I don't know who you are.
Which fun fact about the casting, the bartender,
Yes!
they also went to school together. He's played by Jacob Hopkins.
Yes! I think that was the first time Jacob got to be thrown into a at that time anyway, Funimation dub.
Yeah.
And now Tribe 9 exists.
Tribe 9, what the hell? Oh, The Vampire Dies in No Time.
Oh, I still need to watch that.
There's also a baseball back in there too. That's him. Anyway.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yes. And it's funny because the whole interesting thing about this main cast is you realize, like, episode 12 or 13, that they've actually crossed paths with one another.
Yeah,
just
during
didn't
that
realize
whole
it 2 years
flashback
later.
story through both Usahara and then Kumatani. Yeah, it's very interesting.
At one point they ran into Ikiteru Daga singing Oniisan. You say Usahara can't read the room. Ikiteru can't read the room, can't read the time.
Dad was so cute.
Oh my god.
Ikiteru, I think, based on what we know, Ikiteru out of the 5 here, he's the youngest, I believe, right?
Yes, he's 27. Usahara and Kumatani 28, Michi's 31, and Utado is TBD. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Utado Tadano graduated from a prestigious music school. Had a failed singing career. First, she unsuccessfully became an idol. Then an uncut ballad singer. Then a nightclub jazz singer. Her real name's Yasuka Oide. She adopted Utado as a stage name. She currently lives with her unsuccessful comedian boyfriend, voiced by Anthony Bowling, of 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Is she ever gonna get married? Probably not.
Man, it's like a Steve Harvey movie.
Fuck.
Fun fact: Utano, 32 years old.
Ah.
Hey. What?
So says the internet. Maybe the internet is wrong. Who can say?
I'm gonna have to watch the show again, but yeah, thank you for that. Yes, anyway, she puts on a brave face, but underneath she's very depressed. At one point during the male segment, together with my mind, she accidentally called her two co-stars a bunch of man children, started breaking down and crying on stage.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We need to take a quick breather. Your Oniisan is having an emotional breakdown.
And over the silliest thing, too.
Yep.
Listen, when a woman wants to get married, she wants to get married.
If you like it, then you should put a ring on it. Anyway. Anyway, we got our last character. Most importantly, our main character.
Yes.
Uramichi Oniisan, 31 years old.
Wait. I'm sorry. I thought the main character was the creepy bird character with the baguette. You tell me that's not the main character?
No,
Look,
that hand pup is just a fever dream of Uramichi's. That's it.
Which unfortunately manifested itself into reality.
Yup.
Yes, Uramichi Oniisan, 31 years old, a gymnast Oniisan. Much like Robin Williams, he puts on a brave front, but deep down he's really depressed. So.
Oh, too soon.
I know,
Sad
but
face.
Believe me, nobody was sadder than I was, and I almost dropped a rack of glasses the night I heard that. But that's for another episode.
Sad face.
Was Robin Williams in an anime dub?
What?
He just said that's for another episode, and I'm like, did Robin Williams ever voice... I know he did voice work, but did he ever do a dub?
Anyway.
No.
No, I'm just saying that for personal reasons, but that's another time. Anyway.
Alright.
But yeah, we learned from Michi that, of course, not everything that glitters is gold, and there are two sides to every person. And he's happy with what he does, it's just, the downsides to come with it. We're playing these five. Usahara is played by Ray Chase. Kumatani is played by Howard Wang. Iketeru is played by Brandon McInnis. Utano is played by Jessica Calvello. And Uramichi himself is played by Adam Gibbs.
Yes!
Ray Chase, you've also heard as Karamatsu, Mr. Osamatsu. And David Shield in My Hero Academia, 2 heroes. Howard Wang, you've heard as Kakashi Goto and Guang Hanji and Yuri on Ice. Brandon McInnis, you've heard as Saku Otonomiya, an actor, Songs Connection, and Sonaina in My Hero Academia. Jessica Calvello, you've heard as Hanji Zoe in Attack on Titan, and Cutie Honey Universe. And Adam Gibbs, you've heard as Hotaro Oriki in Hyoka, and Ryoma Ichijo in Love Stage.
Oh, boy.
Before we get to the main event, why don't we start off with the woodland creatures?
Oh, boy.
Because
Usahara and Kumatani.
I will say this about Usahara. I don't hear a Ray Chase in a lot of dubs. Yes, I know he's California, but I don't generally make it a habit to watch a lot of Netflix dubs. I mean, you gotta go through a lot of stuff on the app. So I'm struggling to do that now on the Crunchyroll app, but if it's called for, I will try to watch it. But if Ray Chase here,
if you want to hear a lot of Ray Chase, just play Final Fantasy 15. He's the main character.
Also true. Ray Chase, I usually typically associate for being like the suave or cool characters, like or failed attempts at cool characters like Karamatsu and Osamatsu.
yeah.
Usahara is not that at all. So it's very different than what I'm used to associating Ray as. And I think it's a delight. Usahara is an idiot and can't read a fucking room worth his goddamn salt, and it's great.
But the crazy part about it is Ray Chase tends to be it was kind of subtle, but he tends to be a bit of a dude bro when he's hanging around with his friends because it's like, he wants something from them, but
Oh, yeah. Uramichi, do you want to go out for dinner? Because I'm broke.
but it's also weird because I think it definitely works when he's in the costume. When I see him out of the costume, it's like, it feels okay to me, but like it should work, but it still works in general, especially when you get to the flashback.
Yeah.
And of course, most of his actions, he kind of deserved what he got, except for episode 6. Because I had to look through my old notes on Discord, and that episode was kind of mean-spirited to him. Because at one point, like, you hear them play voiceover for him in a costume.
Oh, yeah. And they play the wrong voice track.
And he's like, oh, shit. And he's like, no, you know it's not me, right? They played the wrong file. It's like, oh, boy.
Uramichi's not having any of it.
And then, of course, there's my favorite scene ever when David Wald palm strikes him in the nuts, tells him to stand up straight. Which, with consent, David Wald, how much can I pay you to reenact that in con?
No! Oh my god, Jamal. That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. God.
It is, and it has to happen.
Oh my god.
That's why I said with consent. Of course, the man would be safe.
Oh my god.
Because, actors do trade for stunts sometimes.
Y'all are awful.
So if I understand your guys' understanding of Ray Chase's filmography, he doesn't usually do goofy, silly, falsetto voices like this, right?
Not
at all.
Not
well,
in my experience, no.
The closest could be Karamatsu, but even then Karamatsu's personality trait is he's the cool guy.
Right.
Actually, there's one more that I think about him and Capellini. I know Amon seen it. I don't know if everybody else seen it. Have y'all seen One Punch Man?
It's been a minute. What was Ray in that?
Well, he was the doctor that gave himself immortality, but the character I'm thinking of is Puri Prisoner.
Right, I forgot he fucking... Okay, yep. It's been a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I watched One Punch Man.
It's not as much Junbo as Usahara, but it is kind of goofy in its own charming way, especially when you deal with Capellini, so...
Ooh, damn, I forgot he's Yukiatsu and Anohana. Fuck.
I wanted to bring up Yukiatsu, but I have not seen Anohana, but I've heard y'all talk about him.
Oh no, Anohana's great. It will make you cry like a baby. I'm just looking at Ray real quick. Weiss is not that... Weiss, Steiner, and Eden Zero might be similar to an extent. Not quite, though.
But my point my point in illustrating with this was that when you allow actors to play against type, you will, for the right kind of performance, you will often get unique standout performances like this. And I feel like Chris George's one of his specialties is getting people who either haven't done this kind of role before, or you wouldn't expect to be in that, and making them fit into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so I don't have qualms with Ray Chase's Usahara myself. It's definitely the right kind of contrast to Kumatani's more serious side of things, and Uramachi's I am so checked out persona. It doesn't feel like he's insanely high on life to the point where he's delusional about the reality going around him. It's that his happiness seems to come from just it's how he gets through life. It's like especially after he was the one who injured his ankle in the flashback episodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a track star.
Right. So he was. So he's already dealt with the unavoidable crushing defeat of not getting to pursue the thing that you thought you were going to be able to, and he's carrying it continuously into this venture of his career. To the point that he's like begging, like, I really need this job. I can't lose this job.
Yeah, basically.
Again,
It's pathetic. But...
being Usahara is suffering, and half the shit that happens to Usahara, he kind of did it to himself.
Which is why you don't dislike the guy.
No!
The
You unfortunately,
not-
you like to watch Usahara get the shit beat out of him.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say that. I'm just saying that I don't wish ill will upon anyone.
No.
It's like, well, this is kind of a thread that I think flows through all the characters. Their lives could be so much better, so much more fulfilling if they just took a little more initiative with what they're doing with their lives instead of coasting through, as it were.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And Uramichi said himself that, like, after 10 years, you kind of start to lose all curiosity and hope or something like that. God damn it, I gotta look that line up too. Fuck.
Yes, we've all. That's kind of my problem with this show overall is I understand the funny parts of it with the black comedy, those definitely work, but I guess I'm just not as drawn to a show that wallows in the mud so much. I like to see our characters pull themselves out of the mud eventually.
Yeah, that's why I'm not generally a fan of black comedy. I mean, yeah, black comedy. Because, you know, I don't really like the cynicism. If I watch something, I either want it to be a little uplifting or something that really gets me, but it doesn't have to, like, take a complete stance on, like, negativity, you know?
Well,
I
they want
getcha.
they want this show to be
doesn't-
want this show to be relatable, and the average audience member is not going to get out of the mud. They'll still have their shitty job 12 weeks later when the season ends.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
basically.
accurate.
So yeah, on the flip side of things, Howard Wang gets to be the dry and serious character, which is much needed. We really needed a more grounded individual in this cast of idiots.
Oh, yes.
Howard Wang delivers the bear puns really well.
Yep.
Yep.
We
Grrr.
hardly bear mention.
That
was my favorite.
I enjoy how, like, reserved he is in his silly puns and general just bearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I not intentional, but I'll take it. Also, I appreciate that, like, his big defining moment was he had a really nice hot shot job, and then quit because his boss was being a shithead to kittens. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that man had the balls. I expect him for
Yeah,
that.
I love
but-
Kumatani for that.
Yes.
He loves cats.
that is that's an solid dude right there.
Oh yeah, and then during the flashback episode where there was part of it where there was a huge fucking typhoon that ends up knocking a tree over that destroys Uramichi's old dorm building. You see at one point Kumatani just building a little shelter for a group of cats that are outside. I'm like, oh, Kumatani, he's a good boy. He will drop your ass in an instant if you do something stupid, but Kumatani's a good boy.
He's a sensible individual. He's not gonna enable your gambling addiction.
Oh no, yeah, he's like, what the fuck? Kumatani is always the first one to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's great.
Now, there's a quirk, I feel, to Howard's decision on how to portray this character.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like he slurs his words. Like, he's very intentionally not...
Interesting.
Whereas everyone else is kind of like enunciating everything and is very clear to understand. Howard has kind of a mush-mouse way of delivering the words in a way that you can still understand what he's saying, but it feels very intentionally less polished than everybody else.
Do you think that... Because something we actually do find out about Kumatani, too, in the last couple of episodes, is when he was a teenager in high school, he actually was a fucking delinquent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you-
By his
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, do you think that might have something to do with it, potentially?
It didn't
It's
dawn on
hard
me
to
to
say.
keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it didn't dawn
is-
on me because we don't learn that until the
That's
second to last
fair.
episode.
I might be
and when
reading
I-
into it a little too much, because unless Chris George knew, like, way in advance, it's a little hard to really predict that.
I mean, if he knew that far enough ahead of time, he could have done the the Kuwabara route where he said, "Okay, so Howard, you're a delinquent, so I want you to talk like this in all of your lines."
No. God, no.
Oh my god.
We are
Wait,
the
wait, wait.
bear mention. All of the bear puns.
Noah, did you deliberately do that because the character's name sounds like Meshi?
You Meshi.
No,
Uso.
No, look,
That's a nice
Because
coincidence.
no. I mean Uramichi sounds like Meshi, which I've made that mistake once or twice.
look.
Uramichi.
I think we can all agree that Chris Sabat playing Kuwabara is a perfect delinquent voice, and all the delinquent characters should strive to sound more like that. Were it not for the fact that it would
Absolutely.
probably obliterate their vocal cords in the process.
Oh my god.
Don't
It's already
Just
obliterating
imagine-
my vocal cords doing it now. Shit.
don't know how Chris survived 100-something episodes of that. Really.
Good on him for that one.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of
A
salt.
lot
water
of
to
tea.
Wash your hands and gargle, kids.
Wash your hands and gargle. Absolutely.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah, Howard is definitely good as Kumatani. If I had just one little nitpick, it's kind of a personal problem for me. Half the time I forgot that was Howard Wang.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't
Because
feel like a
either
bad
he
thing.
doesn't... No, either he doesn't really speak that much outside of his costume, or when you do hear him speak, you're like, "Wait, who is this?" I completely forgot. I had to look it up when I was watching it the first time around to remind myself, that's Howard Wang. Which, if I can find the headshot, I can definitely tell that's Howard Wang also.
Yeah.
It's why I like to call it Amon syndrome, when a character's shot looks like it's their headshot.
Lord.
Are you commenting on my editing?
A little bit. But, no, that's just pure coincidence. That's just pure coincidence.
I see.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
understand.
Yeah, these two are pretty good. And,
They're
I
fun.
think
They're funny.
They're funny, but you know who's funnier.
Although, also, we already talked about it, but Mitsuo does get the most cathartic moment of the show, which is stuffing the director in the bear suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with your horse shit. It's like, Mr. Director, I can't get into character because I don't know how to feel wintry right now. Maybe I'm a visual learner. Maybe if you show me, then I can understand. love that part.
A true king.
In this house, we stand Kumatani.
Absolutely.
Kumatani MVP Usahara the butt monkey. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
Kumatani's the MVP, but the person in this group who I think is the funniest is probably Ikataru, voiced by Brandon McInnis.
Oh, Ikateru's great.
Yeah.
Head empty, only rice balls. And aliens.
And MC
Sometimes
Rice
rice ball aliens.
But I didn't quite get. I didn't get that joke about why is it rice balls? Why is it onigiri?
I
Because
think
Ooh,
the
hell
joke is
Oh.
just that he only ever thinks about he's just thinking about food, man. He's not very
That is
bright.
true. Early on, early on, and there's a shot where he's making like a really nice like dinner with like salmon and stuff. So
Like, I
he's
think-
into cooking.
I
Apparently,
think it's literally just he's kind of a fluff head who's not very deep, and when he's not being directly interacted with, he's just thinking about food.
I guess.
he's
See, I was trying to find a connection between the rice ball and his dirty sense of humor. How he's got like Michael Scott syndrome, where everything has to be perceived as dirty in his mind.
Oh, what, you don't find Dick Fenneman funny?
oh my god, like Ikiteru does is awful with social cues and is the biggest airhead of the entire fucking cast. But he's also the one character that, like, if you make any kind of innuendo relating to the penis, he loses his garbage. Because he finds it the funniest thing.
Yeah, and somehow, even if he does it, he actually twists a word that sounds like dick and just starts laughing. Because I think in the last episode, the director mentions that he tears a hangnail, and he tells him to put antiseptic on it. Damn. I sound like a broken record, man.
Language
He
is
tells
fun.
him to put antiseptic on it, and he just starts laughing because he says tick sounds like dick. I'm like, are you for real?
He's
No,
a small child in the body of a 27-year-old.
The first time that I love more of that joke being used during like his introduction to the show, in like what was that? I think it was in the first or second episode, where Ikiteru goes into Uramichi's dressing room, and he's talking about something, and he's like, no, he was talking about the name Richard, I think.
He's talking about Richard Feynman, the famous physicist.
Yes.
Richard Feynman.
And Richard Feynman. And he's like, his nickname would have been Dick. And then Uramichi's just like staring at him blankly, just like, what the fuck? And then he just starts saying a bunch of like synonyms or other words that imply the word penis. And the last one, because the two of them are being escorted back to the set, Uramichi goes up to Ikiteru's ear, and all you hear is just Adam go, semen.
Yep, one-eyed snake, Shih Tzu.
No one.
I'm actually looking at it right now. So.
No one tell this man about Richard Nixon's nickname.
Oh. Oh god. No, Brandon is a goddamn delight. Since he is the youngest of the 5 characters here, Brandon definitely has that youthful tone that is needed for Ikiteru, which is fantastic. And just that stupid airheadedness and just like the oh my god, can I just say another fun thing that I love about Brandon, especially as Ikiteru? Mm-hmm. During the company getaway to the hot springs, right? The boys are in their room that they're sharing together, and Usahara jokingly is just like, hey, y'all want to have a pillow fight? And both Kumatani and Uramichi are like, no. And you have Ikiteru just suddenly very disappointed that it's like, oh. It's like, what? Usahara's like, Ikiteru, did you, like, miss, like, your school trip or something? He's like, yeah, I did. And I've never gotten a chance to have, like, a sleepover, so I kind of was excited about doing things that you normally do at sleepovers. And both Kumatani and Uramichi just feel so bad for him. It's so funny.
And to his credit, pillow fights are fun. When was the last time you had a good pillow fight?
Oh,
it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. But no, like, Brandon is a mix of, like, innocent child, but also innocent airhead child, but also fucking, oh man, but he's also got probably the dirtiest mind of the entire group.
Probably.
Yeah, basically. Because I thought the whole thing with the rice balls was like, you probably think about balls, which is why I couldn't stop laughing at some point. Because I remember one of those rice balls kind of split open in half and the little center just fell out. I'm like, I don't know if it gets explained in the manga or something like that. I gotta find out. Because for a man who thinks a lot about rice balls, he sure laughs at dick jokes.
Yup.
Like, if you really stop to think about it, it could be like, it's a spinning rice ball, which is like a tumbleweed in his head, like not a whole lot of activity going on
that's
up there.
kind of the equivalent, you would think, yeah.
So, how does that explain one getting abducted by a UFO then?
Because he's an airhead who believes in UFOs. Like, what's his nuts
Well,
in Danganronpa?
Oh, yeah.
You know what, that kind of makes sense, because I feel his childhood might have been robbed, because at one point, he overhears Michi talking about Santa Claus to a little kid.
Oh yeah!
He still believes in Santa Claus!
His what the fuck is the term that they called them?
Sloppy Santa.
Sloppy Santa. I'm like, it begins with an S.
Jakes, you owe me a Coke.
Sloppy Santa, because Yeah, Uramichi was talking to one of the kids during the taping about like wanting toys, but every Christmas he for Santa would give him like dumbbells or like weight or like exercise regimens or things like that. And fucking Ikiteru, the innocent little dummy he is, after the taping, he's like, I didn't know someone else had a sloppy Santa. I wanted toys as a kid too, but all I got was sheet music and vocal exercises. I'm like, Ikiteru, you... And Uramichi's like, wait, you believe in Santa still? I'm like, this is great.
I feel like Santa gets a bad rap in that regards. Like, he's not running a soup kitchen. You be happy with what he gives you. It's free.
Yeah.
You're not entitled to anything.
It's still hilarious, though.
Oh, yeah.
What I like about Brandon's delivery, and I've noticed this on a couple of other things he's done before, is that he's very casual. Whereas a lot of the other actors in here feel like they're a bit didactic in the way that they pronounce words and stick to almost like a rhythmic structure to match the lip flaps.
Yeah.
Brandon has this unique ability to say his lines in a way that doesn't feel like it fits to that beat, but it still matches with the lip flaps. So that's an interesting, and it makes his delivery stand out from everybody else's, because everyone else, again, it has that more polished, professional, didactic delivery. So that also makes his funny moments a lot funnier too.
Oh, yeah. I think it works very nicely.
Yeah, Brandon's a very good singer.
Yes, that is not a surprise. He's
What?
phenomenal.
No, that is not a surprise. What is a surprise, however?
Is Jessica Calvello.
Jessica Calvello.
Yes.
Yes. Because for one thing, damn girl, you got a set of pipes on you.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
Okay. I really enjoyed all her performances and stuff, especially when she's performing drunk at the hot springs.
Karaoke.
Other than that, she definitely was very good and very convincing as this character. And I found out why is because, and I have to look up the tweet too just to verify this. She apparently used to work in children's theater.
That doesn't
Okay,
surprise me.
that makes sense.
There's probably a lot of dub actors in that part of the country who've done that before.
Yes, but I've never heard a lot of people as vocal about it as her. So, well, she's been vocal about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But,
Oh my god, can I just have one side note? Can we go back to Ikiteru for a hot second?
yeah,
You guys realize who voices him in the Japanese, right?
Mamoru Miyano.
Oh no.
No, it's Mamoru Miyano, actually.
Oh, that was a different character. I'm sorry. But
What's
but
funny
just seems
is-
equally surprising.
Here's the thing. He does both the opening and the ending, but the opening he does with Nana Mizuki,
Nana
who
Mizuki,
voices Utano in the Japanese.
Yep. Not amazing.
Also, somehow my Shazam accidentally searched them on my phone for some reason.
Oh boy.
Whoops.
Okay.
Like, I'm just sitting there watching the show. I see a Shazam tag pop up. I'm like, wait.
Oh no.
remember
I'm
searching
like,
that.
who's Nana Mizuki? And I'm looking at her credits right now. She's fucking Eloise Trancy in Black Butler 2. Oh no.
She's spoken with Saya and Vampire.
God. Oh, she's Saya in Blood Sea. Okay. I'm just looking. Oh. Okay. She has to be in. Oh, she's Hinata in Naruto. She's Japanese Hinata in Naruto. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but nobody's seen that show.
No, not at all.
It's not that nobody's seen the show.
Oh,
it's that nobody's
here's
seen
one
the show to finish.
for y'all who've seen Princess Tutu. She's Rue. Nana Mizuki voices Rue in Princess Tutu.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, you may continue.
Jessica has the interesting role of being the only female member of the cast. Is saddled with some kind of unfortunate stereotypical female problems, wanting to get married. But I do appreciate that Utano's lesson, her primary advice to the children is, you may think that it's cool to date a man who's like into comedy and who makes you laugh, but rest assured, he will be a man-child who is basically resting on you as a surrogate mother character. Little girls out there, little 4-year-old girl who wrote into the show, don't do that. You are so much better than that.
Yes,
go get your bachelor's
that
degree.
whole
Get a
bit
real
was
job.
great. I love that.
Yeah, that was my favorite part from Jessica's overall delivery. Is when she gets to relate her advice directly into what she's dealing with in her real world setting. Her laugh. It's like in episode 2 when they're all having their day off and she's at her boyfriend's comedy club and she's the only one who laughs at the joke that apparently wasn't very funny. It's also gave me a big smile.
Yeah, Jessica's a delight.
She's her voice is a little lower, honestly, than I guess I was expecting, and it's probably because I don't have a frame of reference for many other things that she's done before. But it was refreshing that we had, we had a female voice in English that wasn't trying to mimic the cutesy moe voice.
Yes.
Because it doesn't look like the character design is supposed to be that kind of a character.
No, absolutely. She sounds like a human being.
She's, as Amon said, the internet apparently says she's 32, so...
Let me see.
Ready for the retirement home.
Oh boy.
Oh, no, why?
Something.
Why you
Pack
do
up
this
your
to
stuff,
me?
people.
Something
all-
joke about Christmas cake.
Oh my god.
What, you mean it's all over after the 25th?
Yep,
Oh.
that's the line.
Noah, have you seen Excel Saga?
I tried to watch the first couple of episodes.
She's Excel.
Really?
Doesn't everyone know that? That's literally what I know Jessica Calvello for, being Excel. A show I've never watched.
Because because I haven't seen that either.
I mean, fairness, I know it because
that-
she blew her voice out recording it, but
Yeah,
still.
that's the other.
Yeah,
Jessica's the one who blew her voice out during it.
Gotcha. Well, if I remember from that show, her voice was pitched up intentionally a little bit more in that show. Also, I'm glad that I have now I kind of know the character archetypes that Excel Saga was based on.
Mm-hmm.
Now that Project A-ko has finally been released in the West again.
Oh yeah, that's true. She's also if you're into Dirty Pair, she's Yuri, and she's gonna be
Yeah,
reprising the
that's
role
another
for
one.
the new Kickstarted dub from
Man,
I cannot wait.
we need more 80s style anime starring 2 badass half-dressed women just going around the world. We need more of those.
Cat's Eye says hello.
I said new shows.
Oh, okay, I thought you said 80s, so I got
80,
I got the
80s style.
80s style.
Gotcha. I missed the style. But no, I like.
Anyways.
I like Jessica. She, God, it brings the tone of voice brings a more realness to Utano, for her character, 100%. Like, while the trope of the whole woman wanting to be get married or else she's gonna be a spinster for the rest of her life is kind of an overused trope, I think it still actually works very nicely here, especially because Utano doesn't take shit from anyone either. And the second you make you say something that's even remotely close to like spinster or unmarried or anything like that, she gets pissed. She get angry. She doesn't get like it doesn't start with like super sad, emotional, depressed. It goes anger first, and then sad, and then sad. But no,
That girl is ready to explode.
oh, she ain't done with your shit. Yeah, she doesn't take shit from her boyfriend either. It's great.
You spent all of our money on a wedding present for your friend?
Yup.
She's been dating this guy for 5 years?
Yeah, that's what this says.
Oof.
And that's about 6 years too long from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you need to date somebody before you realize that maybe they are not the driven world beater you thought they were?
Yeah.
Jessica's very funny when she's doing that though, so balances out.
I didn't know the other part though. I didn't know Jessica could sing. Actually,
Neither did
that
I.
was
but
that
like
was
I
a little
said,
bit of a surprise.
I
And a very
feel,
welcomed one at that.
I feel like the secret of a lot of the Texas acting pools is the main acting gigs around there that aren't like commercials tend to be theater.
Yeah,
and I think
no,
and I think
100%.
consequently you end up getting a lot of people who can at least sing professionally a little, just because that is a handy talent to have when theater is the main acting opportunity.
Yeah, especially if musical theater is the big
Yeah,
one. If you
don't know.
have regional theaters doing that.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you this. You would know that better than I would. Person who actually works in a theater.
Yes, hello.
And especially for someone who has been around the dubbing pool since when did Excel Saga came out? Like early 2000s era.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Early
Somewhere around
to
there.
mid 2000s. Around there, yeah.
So, well, I think that's most of the cast now. So,
Yeah, so we gotta get to the life lessons, Noah. We gotta get to the life lessons. We haven't covered all the life lessons yet. We got
all right. Come, bring it on, Buddha. Let's hear what life lessons you got for us.
Bring it on, Buddha. Jesus. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love Uramichi.
That's good
Holy
because I don't think he
shit.
loves anyone else.
Yeah, he doesn't love anybody, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I think Adam definitely has a penchant for like a lot of these deadpan characters, even when they seem upbeat up front.
Here's the
Because-
thing. As far as I can recall, I don't recall I've ever seen Adam in a comedy really before.
Oh, I have.
I'd have to check, but
If you ever get the time or the chance, watch Senryuga, where he plays a sort of a delinquent who kind of opens up to this girl who always speaks in haiku.
okay. I'm just looking through. I
It's
haven't watched the manga.
It's very fun and it's half length. And Adam is very good, although I wish you could say I'll give a flying fuck at one point, but
There's bottom tier character Tomozaki. Technically, you can call that a comedy.
technically it is. Yeah, I just haven't finished most of it because I stopped after what hit. Because for some reason I haven't continued past hearing Faye Monta say, "Clench those cheeks."
I finished
So,
finished the show a while ago. It's not bad. It's not a bad show. Let me see.
So the
Can't
thing
wait.
about Uramichi is and the show itself is that it's got one joke. Really, if you boil it down, the whole show is one joke, and that joke essentially is being an adult being a burnt out adult sucks, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So if you don't like that one joke, you're not going to get anything out of the show, not really. So the entire enjoyment of this show was going to live and die on Uramichi's actor. So Adam basically had to carry the show on his shoulders just to make that central joke work. So
Atlas shrugged.
Well, luckily he did not shrug because I think we can vote democratically here and confirm he understood the assignment and made that one joke land pretty much every time.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically.
pretty much. Okay, there's a few other comedies he's done. Technically, we have Golden Time as Mitsuo. So there's that.
That's not a comedy.
I was
That's
yeah.
not. That's
Kind of.
fucking not
Oh,
a comedy.
Suritama's in here. Damn.
That's kind of a comedy.
That's kind of a comedy.
Golden
I
Time is
don't-
not a comedy.
I'm sorry. Is the show where one of the main characters is a goose is a sky kick not a comedy? I'll be real with you. I think some of you are being a little stiff with your definition of comedy. Having said that,
Golden
I mean,
Time.
if you guys
Romantic
took a
comedy.
No,
It has its
Oh, if that's the
comedic
case,
moments, Noah.
Yeah,
if
well,
that's the case, how about Love Stage? I mean,
yeah, Love
well, it's
Stage
more
would count.
sitcom to be honest, because I know I didn't watch it all the way to the end, but I did like what I see though, and that was one of the reasons I kind of mentioned it because there were times where like Uramichi's trying to help some of his friends, namely Ikiteru, and we find out Ikiteru is talented at a lot of things. It's just when he gets fully immersed in the character, he kind of has trouble.
Oh yeah, like the whole scissors thing. Oh yeah.
Exactly why I bring that one up, because I remember in Love Stage, Ryoma seemed to be very talented at drawing manga, while his love interest kind of sucked. So I know it's been a hot minute, but that's what I remember. One of the things I remember most.
Adam Gibbs as Uramichi was honestly not what I expected at all. Because I realize I've seen at least a couple of comedies where he's been in there now. But I've primarily seen Adam in more dramatic roles. And considering, so Uramichi has to have two different voices, technically. He has to have the fun kids show, like, Konnichiwa, kids! Like, it's a bit more of a higher octave, versus...
They had a term for that, actually. And I think most of us will know this.
Yeah.
A retail voice.
Yeah, there it is. Your customer service voice.
Yeah,
that is exactly it. And then
speaking of which, I'm sorry I had to snort a little, because I was trying to find that tweet on Jessica's Twitter.
Yeah.
And apparently there's an old tweet where she tried to buy those 12-foot skeletons. And she says, I've tried 3 years to get one of these motherfuckers.
Anyway, there's I like the customer service retail voice. That's actually perfect description. So there's the customer service retail voice that Uramichi has to have with the kids and for the filming and all that fun stuff. And then there's sad, depressed, self-deprecating Uramichi. The sad, depressed, self-deprecating Uramichi, that tone of voice is what I normally associate Adam Gibbs for, right? So me sitting here, I'm like, how the fuck is he gonna do with the kids, with the filming? Like, what's his customer service voice gonna sound like? And I'm like, oh my god, it works. And also because of the writing and the dialogue, especially for the filming, and the corny, cringy lines they have to say, I'm like, oh my god. It kind of sounds like, in an odd way, it sounds like Adam is forcing it, but that's also the actual point, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, because his character is forcing it, basically.
Right! So it's like, oh my god. First of all, Adam can do a higher tone, higher octave tone of voice. But second of all, like, it just makes all of the stuff that Uramichi goes through during filming that much more cringy, which works. There's a fucking reason why I gave him one of my comedy dubbies from last year. It's just brilliant, man.
Yeah, because I think, and again, it kind of leads back to the whole existential crisis saying, will you stop going to sleep, computer? Because I realized...
Good night, Jamal. I got to sleep now.
Because one of the things I realized, I said I know him for a lot of deadpan type of characters, because, Uramichi's kind of dead on the inside. But when he can say something so... Basically, you're saying the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. What really got me, I guess what would really get this channel, was his moment in episode 2, when he has to do the advice corner segment with that newfound puppet of his.
Oh my god. The newfound puppet voiced by Usahara, by the way.
And he asks him what are his hobbies, and he talks about like how if your hobby is watching mass market entertainment, it's not really a hobby because it's something to distract yourself from the mediocre life. I was like, God damn, I felt that. Like, no, really, I really felt that, because
it's a deep cut.
I guess it's very deep cut.
It's well documented that the creators of the show were just following your life, Jamal, and were just slipping in little lines that related to your life specifically.
They sent.
It's gonna
oh
be
my
on
Probably.
No, even better.
It's gonna be on the commentary.
Even better. Jamal, they sent Amon to follow you and stalk you so they get inspiration for the show. Right,
Probably
right,
gonna
Amon?
send
They sent you.
Well,
But they couldn't make
gonna
it
send
too
some-
obvious. They couldn't make it too obvious, so they're like, okay, well, we'll make a couple of small changes here. But for the most part, yeah, this is all 4 of your lives.
It's
is-
autobiographical.
It's only autobiographical if you're the one making the show. I don't think Jamal made this show.
I'm probably gonna censor this part, but fuck off.
I love you, Jamal.
Yeah, but yeah, moments like that where it's kind of apt. I like when they were speaking their inner dialogue, because I know like in some other shows it can be unwarranted, unnecessary, makes things really awkward. But it works in a show like this, because with Adam, like he knows when to toe the line between be comedic seriously and be comedic unintentionally.
Yeah.
He has a very good grasp on that. Cause let's see what else. Like I said, he's played a lot of deadpan characters. I've seen a lot of comedies. I will say though, you don't always see him in the Funimation dubs, but when you do, you know he posts out something amazing. So.
He's been popping up in Funimation dubs more and more frequently, which is awesome. Because he's normally based in Houston, so.
Exactly. I think like Johnny Chris must have his number on speed dial or something, you know? Because Chris George also did Yoka.
Yep.
Now I didn't even think about it.
Yep.
I guess it's that connection and his talent pool is like, you never know what the man's gonna pull next. And I'm still struggling to try to find what that one line was, because he talks about 10 years of adulthood goes by, you lose your curiosity and hope. Basically,
There's a lot of lines like that.
There is, but when it really kind of like speaks to you on a personal level, you're just bound to say it for justification, you know?
Yeah, it's true. God.
To toss in one of the favorite lines, like he's got tons of little quips. One of my favorite is he kind of pokes a hole in the fact that his advice isn't really useful. He flat out says, "I'll offer my quick snap judgment and call it advice."
Yeah, see, it's the little things like that matters.
Yeah,
you know?
like I think out of all of them, I think Uramichi has probably the most like snappy quips and one-liners actually out of the main 5 when you think about it.
I mean, yeah, he is the main character of the show.
Yeah.
If he didn't have those, then the whole show would just kind of fall flat and just be another dark comedy I just ignore.
Yeah,
Even though
I agree with. I agree with what Noah was saying earlier. This show it hinges on Uramichi and your enjoyment of his character, because the self-deprecating humor, the majority of it is him, and all of the fun quips and all that fun stuff is him. So the show will either lives or dies by Uramichi. So I think Adam carries it phenomenally.
yeah, I think what? Go ahead, Noah.
The only thing that could have possibly been done to make it stand out a little bit more is if he could use like a very different voice between his on-stage persona and his off-stage persona. And I'm thinking of one other performance that this reminded me of specifically. Y'all have seen Lucky Star.
Nope.
Yep. Yes,
Some
you
of
have.
it.
No, I have not.
You've seen Lucky Channel.
No, not really.
Oh, Kagami, right?
You've seen Kagami-san. Yeah, the segments where it's switching between idol voice and just curmudgeon-y, completely different voice character. So like they could have done that with Uramichi. They could have made the two voices nearly indistinguishable from each other. I'm kind of glad they didn't.
No.
Because it does play up. It leads into the fact that his persona on stage is an act for sure, but he's not entirely faking it. He does have some enjoyment out of performing in front of an audience for what he's doing. So I guess that's why they did that. I'm just saying that if we wanted to like really play up the comedy element of it, we would have had Adam do like very different voices between the two, like different speech patterns, very different tone. Just make it more over the top.
When you think about it, though, Keikaku exists for, I think, that reason alone. When you sit here and think about it.
That's true.
Because what you're describing is exactly what Johnny Young Bosch did.
Okay, so yeah, they had their bases covered in other characters.
Yeah, they just didn't give it to Uramichi.
That's true. So yeah, for the direction they decided to go with, I have no issues at all. This is a very good Adam Gibbs performance. This is a good performance for anyone to put on their resume.
Yeah.
Like, who gets paid to say quippy snarks to children? That's a dream job right there.
Amon, what do you think?
I don't know. I had thoughts, and then you interrupted me to argue about whether Golden Time's a romantic comedy. I don't remember what I was going to say
Oh, no,
anymore.
I'm sorry!
Funny. Look, it's 11:30. I'm really tired. My brain's like... Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
He's funny. I like that his like business is like I have to be Mr. Children's Host voice does sound really sincere, even though it is kind of a customer service voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really funny here. It's good. He's really well cast.
Alright, so I guess judging by all my standards, I think we kind of dragged this on for too long. Let's just go straight into final thoughts and be done with that. Sound okay?
Okie dokie.
Sounds good.
So, what is everybody's thoughts on this show?
This is great. I didn't read the manga of this when it started coming out in English, but I remember seeing the preview for it and thinking, well, this looks warped. I should pick this up. Which I've not done because I'm lazy. But I did watch this, and this is really fun. I like that I like its biting edge, but I do like that it does not wallow in the bleakness too much. There's not soul-crushing levity in there to balance things out. I think this is really fun. I think this is a really strong dub for it. I think everyone's really well cast. The writing's really snappy. The songs are really well adapted. Everyone gives a really strong performance. This is very good.
All right. So, this I'm not sure if my judgment of the dub itself is worth much, just because I have my problems with trying to watch through the whole show in general. I feel like this existed much better as a manga, as something that was maybe a little more digestible in written form, where you could space out the that one joke over and over again through reading it rather than watching it. But honestly, they were committed to the bit. They were really committed to making the show about people putting on a performance while experiencing their own not even midlife, quarter-life crises throughout the whole thing. And because Chris seemed to understand that the show is going to be enjoyable not because we're watching one central loser, we're watching a group of losers suffering together. Like, that's where the levity comes from. So with the cast assembled, the variety of voices that they all had to match the different flavors of depressing that's in this, it's just as good as the Japanese. I'd say that if you were on the fence about which one you wanted to go for, I'd pivot more towards the dub side of thing, because you get to hear some really good performances, and you get to realize why you're so sad in your 30s.
Yeah, the 30s is, I realize now, it's kind of troubling, but especially given some certain events I just learned just tonight. Anyway.
Yeah, as a group of 30-somethings in this chat right now, we probably feel this very hard.
I'd say it's like the cast of Friends, but if you look at me, yeah.
Anyway, So, I said this in the beginning. Dark comedy is my brand of humor. Dark comedy and dry wit and all that fun stuff is my brand of humor. And I didn't know what I was expecting when going into Uramichi when I first watched it. And sweet baby Jesus, it became probably my favorite fucking comedy from last year. It's... There is a lot going on with this show. And we kind of touched on this already. If you don't handle the material well, it's not gonna be pretty. Because there's a lot of self-deprecating humor, depression, philosophical moments, things like that. And if it's not handled well, especially for a comedy like this, it's gonna come out poorly. So kudos to Chris George and the team, because this show is wonderfully cast. I love fantastic writing on it, and just everything about this show for me just works very well. It exceeded my expectations in nearly every single way. If you are a fan of darker comedy, dry humor, self-deprecating humor, you're going to like this show. This brand of humor is not for everyone, though. So that's why I said if dark comedy is your thing, you're gonna like it. But if it's not your thing, you're not really gonna enjoy it. But no, yeah.
I'd argue that it's not that some people don't like dark comedy. It's that some people don't like dark comedy that hits too close to their own self.
Yeah. That's where like the self-deprecating humor I think comes in a lot. So if you're not much into dark comedy, or specifically with themes of like more self-deprecating humor, or themes of like depression or midlife crisis or quarter-life crisis in this fucking case, this might not be for you. If you are into the weird ass shit like I am, you're gonna love it.
I'd be very curious to see like how teenagers or like early 20-somethings digest this material. Like, are they just pointing and laughing at it? Because they're not in that demographic just yet.
Yeah.
So maybe that makes it easier to swallow.
Maybe.
Well, absolutely. I can remember being like, I can remember when I first encountered the phrase quarter life crisis and like, you fucking whiner, you're 25. What the hell have you got to be worried about? Yeah. now that I'm past that, I'm like, now that I'm here, I absolutely get it. So.
Oh no, yeah, I understand. It's like, oh my god.
I think that would be probably the reason for Uramichi's actions. Yeah. I think that'd probably be the reason for Uramichi's actions, is that like in some way he's tried to prepare them without like overexerting them mentally, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I can deal with dark comedy sometimes. I just don't like the cynical aspect of it. I mean, like to the point that you could physically be a negative Nancy. Like it's something like, I don't know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, maybe certain parts of How I Met Your Mother, but luckily, Uramichi Oniisan doesn't lean too hard into that. It mentally prepares you while mentally surprising you at the same time.
Yeah.
I like how Chris George took a show about seasonal depression after he took a show previous season about general depression, which that was one direct priority, by the way. And the fact that he managed to handle two subjects back to back in two different genres. And the dub came out very awesome.
Yeah.
It was definitely more than I bargained for, because yeah, I didn't expect a core cast, I didn't expect a lot of singing, but you know, of course dealing with a TV show, and good lord, how many references can Roots make to death to Smoochie? And you know he'll try to.
Oh, he will.
Yeah. I actually like the show as a whole. I didn't watch it when it came out in the sub because, as with most things in life, I either don't have time for it, or like, you know, you gotta give me a hug, like, other than what people just tell me or show me. So when I started watching this dub, I was like, holy shit. You know, it's just not only was it getting too real, it was getting too good for me, but I enjoyed it overall the same. And I hope you enjoy it too, because if you want to watch the show for yourself, okay, so there's a caveat to this.
It's a little complex right now.
But I'll try to simplify it for you best as I can. If you're somebody that works in the industry, if you're the ADR part of ADR, or if you work for Crunchyroll in Dallas, please let us know in the comments. So as of right now, at the time of this recording, is up for pre-order on Right Stuff, Crunchyroll's website, wherever you get your anime. The Blu-ray will be available in June.
Yay!
Hopefully. But if you want to stream the show for yourself, it's actually both available on the Funimation app if you still have it, and the Crunchyroll app. But here's the kicker. On the Funimation app, it's archived. You could be seeing a home video preview in the coming weeks, who knows? All I know is as of spring 2022, it'll only be like show reprisals for simuldubs or home video releases for previous dubs that will stream on there. Anything newer than that, like new simulcasts and stuff, will be airing on the Crunchyroll app. Mm-hmm. Just to clarify. Because I know there will be questions. I had to work this out in my own head.
And for Crunchyroll, because I know I brought this up for Akudama, is Uramichi's dub under the, is Uramichi in general just under the Crunchyroll premium paywall, like
Yes.
Akudama is?
Yes, I'm staring at it right now.
Well,
Okay.
most definitely it will be, because reasons.
Yeah, the reason
Yay.
is they want you to pay for it.
Subscribe, fucker!
Was it not under a paywall on Funimation's website? I never actually used Funimation's website without a subscription.
So, I think technically the Japanese is, you can watch it for free with ads, I believe.
Okay.
But
And
Crunchyroll in general, with some of the stuff they've been bringing over from Funimation, whether it's Japanese, English, anything, it's under the paywall now.
Alright.
Compared to some of
Yes.
Crunchyroll's older stuff, where you can watch the Japanese simulcast for free with ads, and then like the premium stuff for like dubs and things. So it's a little bit weird right now.
Again, if you're a voice actor, director, script writer, whatever from Dallas, and you have some clarification on this, please leave it in the comments below. We're just a bunch of podcasters doing what we do best, or what we can do best.
Big preach.
To which, if you want to hear us, we can be found on YouTube under Dub Talk Podcast, on our audio feeds, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. If you want to support us in anything we do, we have a Ko-fi account. We also have a Patreon account too. So, to which, if you want to support the podcast in general, you want to give at least $5, you'll get your name thanked on the Patreon page, such as these people: Megan's mom and dad, Michelle Travis, Nico Robin, both Yowie Heads, and Victor May Baroda. Well, if you want to give a little more, for $10 a month, you not only get your name shout out on our podcast, you also have a chance to enter into our quarterly raffle for a viewer's choice episode, basically. To which we'd like to thank Anthony Brown, Kari Lysicow, Crimson Kinder, Jacob Wilson, Jared Hawkins, Julia W., Marissa Lenti, and Otaku Anthony for participating. Our quarterly raffle, as of right now, is closed. We will be opening our next quarterly raffle sometime around in June, I think it is.
Yes,
right?
you are correct.
Yes, in June. So, if you want a chance to see any episode of your choice, just one, go through our channel, make sure we have it covered already. 2, sign up for the $10 tier. And 3, please be respectable with your choices. You know?
Yeah, because if it's something that we aren't comfortable with, we will tell you.
All entries are subject to eligibility.
Yes. Yes.
But as for any of us and what we get up to, I can be found on the podcast here. I can be found on YouTube at Jamstar1, on Twitter at Jamstar529. I keep talking about solo podcasting, but work's gotten in the way, so I haven't done a lot with it yet. I will get to it eventually. How about, okay, and for the rest of y'all, how about you plug yourself, so.
Okay. Hello, my name is Stephanie. The internet sometimes knows me as Lilac. You can follow me on Twitter at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled Ruvue. My blog, lifeandtimesoftalker.wordpress.com, is gathering dust. And then, what else do I have? Yes. So, Dub Talk Podcast also has a Twitch channel if you want to come hang out with us. It's Dub Talk Podcast, twitch.tv/Dub Talk Podcast. Where I am one of the many individuals who streams on there. I typically stream Sunday afternoons, currently switching between Animal Crossing and Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I also stream in the evenings on Sundays with Andrew in tow, to which at the time of recording we have not picked our next long game yet. I need to figure that out. But yes, that is me.
Also, on top of that, if you missed anything on our Twitch channel, it can also be found on our second channel, Dub Talk Gaming.
You right.
That's correct. Right. You can find me not on the Twitch channel because the last video game that I played was probably something on PopCap games back in the early 2000s. So
Actually, it was Jackbox, because you played Survive the Internet with us.
that's true. I did play a group game there.
You
but,
you sometimes chill in the chat. You were there for Freddy Fish a couple weeks ago.
That's true. Florence was a very good game. I'm glad
Florence
you
is
guys picked that one.
fantastic.
Yes, but I'm not here to pimp out the Twitter
no.
channel, the Twitch channel. I'm here to pimp out my Twitter account, which is @NoahClue. Animation is amazing, and if you enjoy having someone to discuss topics of everything from around the world, I highly recommend subscribing to that Twitter feed. If you're not going to subscribe to my Twitter feed, though, I would highly recommend a newsletter that I am registered to. They release new newsletters every Sunday, and that is Animation Obsessive.
Ooh, okay.
Subscribe to their newsletter. They have new in-depth interviews or deep dives into the history of everything from an East Coast cartoon called Abel's Island, which was voiced by Tim Curry, or the UPA feature film Gay Puree. Just everything that you never hear any one of these anime people talk about. It's covered on Animation Obsessive. It's not my thing, but I just want to pimp them out because I've never done that before in this podcast.
That's very cool.
And Amon.
I'm Amon. You can find me at AmonDuelUS on Twitter. I talk about stuff. I'm also on the Twitch channel.
I love stuff!
Stuff is good. I'm also on the Twitch channel. I usually play weird indie games you maybe never heard of, some of which may or may not be anime themed. It depends. And I have well, I don't have a dusty old song for you, but I do have a dusty old album for you. I have two even. One's a real one's a real children's album. One's a fake children's album.
Oh God! Okay, I like the sound of that.
The real children's album.
I know where this is going.
The real children's album is "No" by They Might Be Giants, the first of their children's / kid-friendly albums.
Okay.
It's delightful. The Johns they know how to tap into that aesthetic and oeuvre. If you've listened to an actual They Might Be Giants album, it doesn't require too much bit shifting on their end. So,
Amon,
yes.
is that the one with the sun is a massive incandescent gas on it?
That's one of their later ones that is more specifically science themed. This one does have a song called "In the Middle, in the Middle, in the Middle," which is an old New York City PSA about how to cross the street correctly that was written by Vic Mizzy of Addams Family theme fame.
Oh my God!
There's that.
That's awesome.
That
Holy
does
shit.
ties into episode 11 of this show.
Exactly. Precisely. And my fake one is Paper Mache Dream Balloon by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. That sounds like a charming band name, doesn't it? Don't they sound fun? You can buy this for your child, and they can enjoy such songs as Bone, Dirt, Time Equals Fate, Time Equals $, $, $, $, The Bitter Boogie, and Cold Cadaver. And then you could have them enjoy...
Bitterbitty.
And then you could have them enjoy other King Gizzard albums like 12 Bar Brews, Float Along, Fill Your Lungs, I'm Your Mind Fuzz, Flying Microtono Banana, Infest the Rat's Nest, and everyone's favorite, Nonagon Infinity, an album designed so you can literally play it on repeat for forever or until your brain melts out of your ears.
God, the shit you find and you bring onto here sometimes, it just amazes me and I love it.
I'm trying. Yeah, that's my bit.
So, is that a wrap?
So as we play out to the Mamoru Miyano, from all of us here at the Up Talk Podcast, good night. Otaku on. Rock on Boston, rock on Cleveland, and keep on dreaming on.
Hey, you stole my bit.
Aloha.
Amon's like, you stole my bit. Sad face.
It's children's TV. Gets very cutthroat.
God damn it. Tisk tisk.
Aloha.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, nerds.
音楽という音